Way! Hello, viewer. Today it's a Sunday. It is March the 26th, 2023. I am Mr. Brown, and I trust you are all doing very, very well today. On this evening's stream /podcast, we are discussing the goings on this week in pop culture and on the social media. But before we begin, and it's a big but, you can find us here on the YouTube. You already know that. Or if you prefer your entertainment in the podcast form, we are also on Spotify. The links are in the description. Spotify is, again, doing quite well. I can't believe it. So if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, lots to get through. Shall we get the guests out? Of course we should. Right, so first up, from a VPN far, far away, it's the golden reach around droid of choice. Z3PO.
Good evening, Mr. Brown.
Oh, hello.
It's always a pleasure to be with you on a night like this.
No, the pleasure's mine.
It certainly is. Just wait until we get lubed up and tackle all these hard topics later.
Can we go in dry?
We can go in as dry as you like.
Drier the better.
Oh, yes.
Are you well?
I'm very well.
How's Uncle Owen?
Oh. We should bring him in, yes, sir.
It's really great to have you here.
Oh, I'm aroused as always.
Shall we get the next guest out?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm speechless. Here we go, folks. Next, she's back from Split Screen Gaming Podcast. It's Vex Electronica.
Hello, Mr. Brown. I noticed that we're on a sultry start to things, so I'm chiming in.
Oh, God, you sound sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you. You sound equally sexy, Mr. Brown.
Are you smoking something?
I'm not, no, but I can be
Okay.
if you give me something to.
Your mic sounds beautiful this evening.
She does sound amazing, doesn't she, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you both?
We are
Moist.
very good. Are you moist?
I am moist. I've been
I'm
hanging around
always
too long near
moist
the
when I'm
moisture
here.
evaporators, so I'm very moist.
I think it's going to be one of them
Steamy
my
Sunday
teeth have just
over
fallen
here.
out, folks. Just let me pick my teeth up. So, are you well, Vex? Yes.
Yes, I'm very well, very moist now, and very excited.
Great to have you here.
Let's go.
You're quickly becoming a channel favourite. Don't know why.
It's because I brought my Blade shirt today. That's why.
Oh!
That's why I'm now a channel favorite.
Okay. Shall we get the next guest out? Okay, from the top. Shall we get the next guest out?
Yes, please, Mr. Brown.
Okay, next. He is the purveyor of meh entertainment. It's old Blue Boy himself.
Hello.
Movie cynic.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello. You're not going to get weird sensual shit out of me. So.
You're a liar. I'll
Not
make you.
Not at first. Maybe in 5-10 minutes.
That's a little cynical, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I gotta, after the criticism, I'll start living up to my name and be a cunt. No problem.
Whoa!
Not a problem.
That's not true, because cunts are useful.
Oh. It's like, you can't prove I'm a cunt because I'm not useful.
Fine.
Okay. It's fine.
You've got to be useful to somebody. Z, is he useful to you?
Holds a hole.
Holds a hole.
Blue Man, how's your channel going, my friend?
I don't know.
Do you care?
I don't know.
Not at this moment.
No, not right now. No, John Wick.
Oh,
That's all I have on my mind. John Wick. So
Mhm.
that's what's coming out tomorrow, everybody. John Wick review dropping. That's what's up.
you're going to be very happy tonight. Lots of John Wick. Shall we get the next body out, my friend?
Please do.
Because these intros are taking longer and longer.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. This is what they've been waiting for, folks. We see the good inside our next guest. It is the Dark Sith Lord Chord.
Evening. You're not getting this stream monetized even on review, so well done.
Oh, hello there.
How is everyone? Besides
Better.
being weird this evening.
Better for seeing you.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
Z, are you excited?
I'm always excited.
How's the channel going, Lord?
I don't know either. I think it's going all right, yeah.
Are you sure about that?
No, I have no idea what's going on anymore, but here I am. So we make do.
How many subs?
I don't know that. I don't know this either.
130,000, 140,
160,
160.
23, 4? I don't know. Something like
123.
that. Oh, thank you.
Wow.
Which is
In
bad because
the-
I haven't put a video out for like the last 3 weeks. So
In the chat, Z3PO.
123k subs.
My computer is very slow this evening. There's a lag.
You
Look
say
at
that every week. Just get a new one.
Look at that.
no,
That's-
I think it's just the introductions that are slow. Your computer's fine.
I will say that's really pleasing to my OCD. 1, 2, 3. That's beautiful.
Oh, and in a couple of days it won't be, but
gonna fuck it all
yeah,
up.
make the most of it.
So you well, Lord? Yes, great to have you.
As I can be, yes, thank you.
Assuming that he's not upped off, shall we get the last guest out?
I wouldn't blame him. Yes, do.
Okay, and last but by no means least, he is the wise elder of the channel. You know the rest. If he's not nodded off, it is the mega geek himself, Ian David Diaz. Hello.
He's fucked off.
No, I haven't. I just hello.
Wake up, Ian.
But,
Wake up, sir. Wake up.
I don't listen to the intros. I'm watching something on
neither do we.
So.
Neither do we.
You would have gotten quite slick if you were listening to the
Oh,
intros
okay.
today, sir.
Mhm.
Also, I'm eating crisps as well. So there
You
you go.
might have, if you were listening, developed a chubby, but
A what?
Oh, what?
nothing. Oh, it's
Chubby
just an
on.
American slang. I'll just keep that to
Well,
myself.
what does that mean?
Nothing. Piece it together.
But I thought everyone in America was a chubby, or does it mean something else over
Oh,
It obviously means
It
something
means
else.
something else, but you can call everyone a chubby.
I
But
think
having
I-
a chubby is
there? Yeah, I think I know what it means, really.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lord, may we, before we start, I'll say hello, chat, by the way. Hello, chat, we can see you. Lord, may we have a demonstration of your software, please?
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is where I forget what all the buttons do. So throughout the entire introduction, obviously very sharp. Slash in despair.
That's,
But if you get me on a highbrow topic, obviously monocles. And when I deliver my usual thug life put down, I have these.
Yes.
So, and then otherwise it's just quizzical eyebrows and shit. So yeah, cheers.
shit. I hope you don't mean
Shit.
actual
Shit.
shit.
What? Where did that? What? Where did the shit come from?
Moving on.
I don't have
think
one of
watch-
those.
You can watch the re-rub and then you'll
That's
see.
brilliant.
exactly.
Seriously.
Okay. It is. It's very, very impressive. I could just watch
Yeah.
that all night. Forget the stream. 50 people would just enjoy watching every second of that. Look at that. It's fantastic.
I think
Is-
if you
is-
keep talking in the sultry voice, we might end up lighting that cigarette with how hot it will get in here.
Princess Fiona in the chat, already getting bogged down.
Don't worry, guys.
Alright.
We only have almost 30 topics to get through on top of the intros, so buckle up.
No.
Yep, I peeked through these slides, and I was like, oh.
Okay, some of them we can blast through. So anyway,
That was a perfect way to get us back on track, though.
Yeah. Let's do it, folks. Again, hello, chat. We can see you. Always great to see you. Peeps in the chat. If you've made it this far, wow.
And enjoying this content, please like and share and subscribe. Every single click will help this channel grow. Come on, move it along. Move it along.
Okay. Who's watched Picard this week? Anybody?
Perfect for a pee
Ian?
break.
I think so. Oh.
Ian,
Sorry.
would you like to go first? What did you think
Yes.
of this great episode?
I did like this episode, actually. The only thing I didn't like about it was when Geordie came back, his character was completely
spoilers, by the way.
different. This is what I don't get right, and I've had a little discussion with Dan on his channel about it. He comes back and he says he can't help Picard because basically he has to protect his daughters. And then Picard says to him, look, the Federation has been infiltrated by changelings, right? We don't know who to trust. This could be the death of everything that as we know it.
Of everybody, yeah.
And he just says, no, I can't help you.
Fuck it, can't be bothered.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
no, it's like,
saying
what the
that
hell?
doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense to me
Yeah.
because he was never like that. See, little shit things like that kind of take me out of it. But apart from that, it was a very good episode. So there you go.
Here you go. Hello, Franco. I'm enjoying Picard S3, but it's not Star Trek.
No, it's not. I gotta.
It's kind of token gesture to the fans.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
I think
We'll
a bit
take
too
it.
much
We'll
by
take
way
it.
of token gesture in this episode as well. This one was it's been quite heavy-handed with the nostalgia all the way through, but this episode was at one point literally just a roll call of nostalgia bait. It's like, look, here's the space dock with all the ships you remember. Isn't this nice and lovely? Look, remember Geordie, he's
Kirk.
back. Remember
Remember
Data's back. Remember his evil brother, he's back. Remember the scientist, yeah, he's back.
Can't stop him now.
Just
remember Tribbles.
everyone comes back in this episode. This one was
true.
just, it was annoying because the rest of it I think has been quite good story-wise. This one was not quite as good story-wise.
Even
It was
the
lovely to see
Genesis-
all of it, but
Even the
Genesis
Genesis
2
Project
no,
number
no,
2 was
Genesis
back, wasn't
2,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it was
Memberberries.
back. Yeah. So Kirk's body was back.
Remember the bird of prey from Star Trek 3?
So yeah, the bounty. Yeah.
and like surely the thing you do, you've got you found a ship there that's got a cloaking device on it, so you steal that ship. That's what I thought they were going to do. I didn't expect them to magically teleport the cloaking device and install it on a completely different ship within 5 minutes and get it to work. That's nostalgia baiting, which doesn't really add to the story you're telling. That's when it becomes distracting as opposed to purposive.
Well, I think the daughter helped him steal it from the bounty, and then they beamed upon the bounty. Obviously, you didn't see it, and then they took the stuff, and then they beamed back onto the ship.
Mhm.
I mean, the reason why they want it on the ship, obviously, so they can escape the other ships.
Yes.
So that's but I don't know. I kind of like that. I kind of that was a bit Star Trek-y-ish, I thought, but I don't know. I kind of like this episode, but as I said, there were certain things I didn't like about it, and I agree with you with the all the stuff that pertaining to what's happened in the past. It's just too much in this one. And also, I hated the idea that they brought back Data and he's old now, and they made up some crappy excuse because they have to get the old guy that plays Data in because there's no excuse to make him look young. They can't make him,
What's the
no,
excuse? It's
I'll
like, this version of Data isn't an
I'll let that
android.
go.
He's synthetic because they
Yeah.
lifted the ban on synthetics in between seasons that they never should have instituted in the first place. But
Yes.
why would you take like a brilliant android which never ages and is permanently great,
Yeah.
and then make it just as permanently great mentally, but put it in an aging body that will
That's what I'm
die?
saying, yeah.
What's the point of doing that?
Yeah, it
but then
makes no
that was
sense.
always the problem. It's like, why did they give Picard a new body of an 85-year-old man? I would have been really disappointed if that's what I'd got.
Yeah, but that's stupid. But what they should have done, maybe they didn't have enough money to do it, is to get someone that actually looked like Data in his prime and do the fake on his face, deep
Yeah,
fake
the
on his
de-aging
face.
stuff.
Yeah, that's what they should have done. But they obviously couldn't afford it, so
And it would have worked with Data because he always looks a bit plasticky anyway.
does,
so
yeah,
you could have,
yeah.
you could have even
agreed,
forgiven the weird Uncanny Valley
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. But anyway,
Z, are you up to speed with Picard?
I am, and that was my only criticism as well. It's firstly, they're not supposed to have that cloaking device. Not at all. They should have given it back when the ship was recovered. The Treaty of Algernon is a peace treaty between the United Federation of Planets and the Romulan Empire. They're not supposed to have cloaking technology at all as part of this treaty.
Yes.
So it was a bit contrived, and the fact that it just fit like it was a USB connection. Meh. I mean, neither of them are engineers. One's a pilot, and the other's Jack Crusher.
yeah. But as I said, right, I did the thing that really stuck out for me was the total disrespect and no loyalty from Geordie, which didn't make
that's
not him
that as well. It's like
that is not him.
Yeah.
He
If
did
your
come across
friend
as
was
a
Sorry, go
really
ahead.
overbearing father.
No, they turned him into someone that he never was. You know what I mean? How could you? It's like going to Spock and saying, "Spock, we need your help," and Spock turns around and goes, "Fuck you." Do you know what I mean? It's like that. It just doesn't. That really didn't make any sense to me at all. Especially when he was told the stakes, he still didn't want to help. So that kind of spoilt it for me. Anyway, whatever.
Melvin Deeply. Hello, Melvin. Why did they only give LaForge fancy specs when medical technologies was such that they gave Worf a new spine?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Don't know.
Princess Fiona. My only issue is it still sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. But...
Yeah, we're
for the
enjoying
most part,
it. We'll
for the most
take
part,
it.
It's all right.
Yeah, we'll take it, won't we? We'll take it, yeah. Obviously, some people won't, but I don't blame them. Some channels just...
But it's kind of like... It's a bit like season 1 of The Mandalorian in that if you actually bother to look really closely at it, or even just closely at it at all, it's really deeply flawed. But the fact that it's not shitting on the franchise, and it doesn't hate itself, and it doesn't hate the fans, and it's quite good fun, and it's not overly serious, and it just superficially resembles something like what we remember the franchise used to be, makes it much better by comparison. And I understand the arguments against the argument from comparison, but I think it is still worth making. It's not badly written in its own terms, it's just not brilliantly written in its own terms. It's got enough nostalgia bait to smooth over the gaps in its narrative, and it makes people feel a little bit happier about Star Trek, and given the state of the franchise, that's worth something.
Let's just be happy that somebody who likes Star Trek and understands Star Trek show ran it, at least. So we'll take it, but we'll just finish with Hostman Socrates, HK47. Terry Matalis respects the fans. He does.
He does indeed.
And that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, it's not. It's not.
So,
we actually had a male that had a good idea in this, and the 2 females listened to him in this episode. I was like, yes.
There's
Are
a
we
first.
getting back to normal?
There's a first.
Are we? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We'll briefly just mention this because we did a roast on Wednesday. Z in a paragraph. Thoughts on this episode?
Go outside and touch grass instead.
Lord?
Hilarious, but for all the wrong reasons. I really enjoyed the episode. It was great fun.
Yeah, I kind of.
But,
It's funny, yeah.
But I now watch it, and every time the new episode comes out, I watch it and I think, oh, yeah, the Wednesday roast is going to be really good fun, because this is just
can't wait for that. Can't wait.
utterly appalling.
Storytelling's awful, isn't it?
Ian?
It's just awful. I mean, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the pew pew stuff. But as we all pointed out, it makes no sense to wait 2 days. I mean, that kid could have been eaten. And when we did see him, he just coughed him out of his mouth, and he was bone dry. It just didn't make any sense to me, unless he doesn't have any saliva glands, that monster. But it really didn't make any sense. Why would he wait 2 days?
It is like watching a video game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where is the fucking story?
There isn't
Dunno.
one. There isn't one.
I've actually, because I've been doing my script for my Mando video, and it's only covered the first 4 episodes, and the script is, I think, over 25,000 words long.
What?
So it's yeah, and now I have the annoying decision, which is, what do I do with that? Do I make it into multiple videos and lag behind the show, or one big video? And I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but it's fun. It's been really fun to break down and review and to compare with better things. I do try and find the things to praise about it as well, because it looks lovely and some of the fan service is enjoyable. But yeah, it's and it's only season 3 as well. And the more you write about it, the more I went back and watched all of the other episodes from the previous seasons as well, you think, okay, it was never actually very good. It was always enjoyable. You could occasionally laugh with it. Now you can only laugh at it. And it's worse than the previous seasons, even admitting the previous 2 were quite deeply flawed themselves. This one is so much worse. The fact that episode 2 completely destroys the whole point and purpose of episode 1. It's like Jon Favreau is trying to get himself sacked, except that it's Kathleen Kennedy, and the only way to get yourself sacked in Star Wars is to have a good idea. She'll give him a feasure film with this kind of writing.
No, but I think Blue Boy hit it on the head when he said it's like a sitcom. It's gone back to the way it started. Everything's reverted back, hasn't it? Yeah, so
the only way.
So that's what they've done with it. So they don't want to carry on any of the stories that was like through it. Now they just want to go back to the cute Yoda, baby Yoda, and Mando doing stupid things, rescuing things and doing side jobs and stuff like that. That's basically what the show was all about.
I'm looking forward to them sticking Baby Yoda in a full set of Mandalorian armor just to sell the toy.
That's going to be interesting. They're going to have to make a helmet with holes so his ears can stick out, aren't they? So that's going to be stupid. Isn't it?
Lord, are you available to read a super chat, please?
I am. From Hostman Socrates, HK47 for $5. Lord Cord, do a 7-hour unbridled rage to put Morda's Doctor Strange video to shame. I would, but I also don't want to kill myself, so I probably won't. Although, if I do carry on with the rest of the episodes, the total review probably won't be that far short of about 6 hours by the end.
Wow.
Because if it's 2, it's like, it'll be about 2 hours, 2.5, I'd guess, for the first 4 episodes. And there's another 4 episodes to come, and they're only getting worse, which means there's only more to say about it, which means it could well be 3 hours for the next 4 episodes, in which case the whole thing will be, like 5.5 or 6.
But the Wednesday streams just get better.
Well, yeah, but that's a really good example, right? I mean, last episode was 30 minutes long, and we streamed about it for 3 hours, which is that's how much there is to say about this show.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
It is. Vex, you're not watching this poop. You're not into Star Wars, are you?
I am not, no, but I'm quite enjoying how sexy it's getting in the chat over there.
How is
That
it?
is way more entertaining than this fucking show.
What are they saying? Because I haven't got it up.
They're talking about rubbing
You haven't got it
feet
up?
and things like that. It's
I've got it up
it's
now.
quite salacious.
Miss McPherson says, "Oh my God, hubby is rubbing his junk on my leg," and I'm like, "Whoa."
Can we watch?
We'll move on before I get too embarrassed. I'm starting to blush now.
Oh,
You're
is this coming
not
back?
her husband. Oh, anyway.
It is
Moving on.
back.
You know what? I've only watched season 1 of this. What season is this now?
3.
3. Oh, okay.
We're 2 episodes into season 3.
All right.
What
And
are you
it's-
thinking?
The best show that CW's ever made,
Ooh.
without a doubt.
That's high praise right there.
Mm.
Wow.
It is
It
good.
is.
It is good.
And this week's episode was pretty hard going, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't
So,
know about you, Brown.
Has Lois Lane put on any weight then?
No, she's got breast cancer.
Has she? What, in the
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on with our comic book heroes, for God's sakes? What is that all about?
Yeah.
I know where
Is
it's
it heavy?
going. I know where it's
Where's
going.
it going?
Is
You
it
can
because-
spoil it. No one cares.
Yeah.
I do.
Is it?
Is
because-
it a
already know.
mastectomy kind of situation? Is that where it's going?
No, I think one of the baddies has got the technology to save
Secure
her.
her. Is it because Clark Kent kept using his X-ray vision on her to see
For your underwear.
That's why she's got. That's why she's got it.
You bastard.
I don't know. It's just very heavy, though, isn't it? I mean, I don't know.
Here you
Now I
go,
don't
Princess
want to watch
Fiona. The show is okay, but someone hit Super with an ugly stick.
Yes. Well, that's what Rennie kept saying about him because he
He
doesn't.
needs to
I
shave.
would never cast him
Fugly.
as Superman.
Yeah.
Never. He looks nothing like a Superman. He really doesn't, in my opinion, of course. That's any road up.
It's still yet to hit a miss. So it's still a strong series as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
enjoying
thank
it
you
very
very
much.
It is. It's very, very enjoyable.
Ooh.
So anyway, we've been recommending it for 2 years now, haven't we, Z?
Yeah, since the first episode.
Yeah.
It's been consistently good.
Should I watch this instead of Picard season 3 then next?
If you're a Superman fan, you can't go wrong with season 1. It's
I don't really care about the comic book stuff. If it's just a genuinely well written show, that's
It
what
is.
I'm
It's
more
all right.
interested
Yeah,
in.
it's all right. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
you certainly do get behold the whole family thing, get behind it, and you support them. And when things bad happen, you feel sad for them. An emotional
Okay.
connection to Lois.
All right.
I've had the feels many times with the program.
What kind of feels, Mr.
Yeah.
Brown?
Yeah.
Tell us
The
more.
ones you
Laughter.
have to pay for.
My cat
That's where the
feels.
super chat money goes.
Sorrow, laughter, joy, pleasure, pain, all those.
Really? Lima,
Yeah. And that's just getting out of bed on the morning.
your Prozzy's been working overtime, hasn't she? Wow.
Okay, moving swiftly on.
Well, she doesn't have much else to do when she's chained in the basement. So,
Yeah.
Well, like Joseph. Yes. Just call me Joseph, everybody.
Oh, now we've come to this
Oh.
part now? Bloody hell. That was quick.
This is not the. I'm a
oh,
cunt
not this
section,
shit
so-
again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is the section that nobody's been waiting for. The Movie Cynic recommends at the Movie Cynic.
He's going to recommend the Batman, isn't he? I can
So,
Just FYI, I don't even look forward to this section. Fucking Brown asks me every week. I feel obligated.
Go on then,
Blue
Blue
Man, what's in the bag of tricks this
There
week?
is nothing to recommend this weekend except John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay.
What?
I see where you're coming from, mate. I see it.
You see me coming?
I
All
see it coming,
right.
pal.
Do you mean that?
I do mean this. We did a 2-hour stream last night, so
Did.
I would say no spoilers.
Jonathan
No.
Wick.
Or
Chapter
try
4.
no spoilers if we can, yeah.
Princess Fiona in the chat says Cynic recommends some movie we've never heard of. Wouldn't it be you want me to recommend movies you've seen? That doesn't make any sense.
Some only movies we've never heard of. Oh, she's just because last week she never heard of Road to Perdition when you did it last week, did she?
Really?
Yeah, a
I
lot
thought
of
it
people
was a
haven't.
really big movie when it
was
came out.
at the time, but it's been forgotten.
Yeah, I've
Because
never
when
seen
they
it.
mention Tom Hanks's films, they never mention that for some reason. It's really weird.
But anyway, we're talking about John Wick 4.
I'm doing a review on it, so I'm like talked out about it. It's like a fucking 4,000 words, which doesn't touch Little Platoons, but that's long for me. But this movie's fucking fantastic. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. The best one since the first movie. And again, like what Platoon was saying, if you're not into the genre, that's totally fine. But if you do like the genre, this is top notch.
What are you laughing at, Vex?
What is he laughing at?
I have no idea.
I'm laughing at Hostman's chat.
I know you're going to read it.
Oh,
You're going to read it in a moment. Carry on, Blue Man. They're so unprofessional, aren't they?
Hostman almost got me in trouble last week.
He did, yeah.
He
Almost.
did.
And
He was
Ben
asking-
had to switch off his mic at one point. He was laughing so much. I remember that. Anyway, sorry.
So,
Carry on, mate.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Yep. You don't need me to talk about it. You've seen it. Mega's seen it. Why don't you take
Yep.
over the section?
I,
I'll be back
I
later.
thought it was really good. I do recommend the film, and
No spoilers.
not only is it great on the B picture material, but the photography is stunning. The action is very original. There's a scene in it that I couldn't figure out how they did it. It's over the top. So what you should expect: over the top violence with panache. That's the best way to describe this. The story is
Yeah.
kind of non-existent, really, but that doesn't matter because it's a B picture with loads of money thrown at it. And Keanu Reeves, he has about 1 page of dialogue,
Yeah.
I reckon, in that whole of the film, but he does play it very well. All the supporting cast are brilliant. And again, the two best things about this film is the photography and the action. And there's a lot of action. I recommend it highly if you're into action movies. You don't have to have seen the other films, I don't think, to understand what's going on. Well, kind of, yeah.
You probably
I
don't
guess.
need to enjoy it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But there is like it's even though it's a simple story, it's still well written. There are setups and payoffs that are very satisfying. The ending is fantastic. My crowd cheered. I was cheering too, so I was going to cheer regardless when I
wanted
saw it
to.
happens. And luckily, my theater joined me. Go see it in the theater if you're able to, because
Yes.
that's definitely the way to see.
I
this
do. Because I saw it in IMAX with the sound was so loud,
Not in
it was
India.
ridiculous. No, not in Indonesia. No. So I recommend you see it that way because the only way, as I said, that you can judge this film is to see it the way it was supposed to be seen, in my opinion. And it is beautiful to look at. The photography is amazing in this film. It really is.
Vex, you've
Yes.
watched John Wick 4.
I have.
Thoughts?
She hated it.
Yeah, I did. It was dog shit. Don't see this movie. No, it was good. I would rank this the second best out of the franchise. I think there's a lot of plot conveniences and cheesy things that you need to forgive, but even when you do, even noticing those, like Ian had said, the action, the cinematography, the villain, it all kind of overshadows all that things, and honestly, you don't even realize 3 hours has gone by. I had a blast in the theater watching this. I had to pee really badly, but still flew by for me. So it's a worth it on the big screen. I would say go to the theater for this one.
Are you available to read the super chats, please?
I can if you really like me to. Sure.
Yes, I would love you to.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the part of the program which always is my favorite because it means absolutely nothing. Movie Cynic recommends.
Thank you, Houseman. That's the best $5 you've ever spent.
I'll be going to see this on Meerkat Tuesday.
Yep, that's happening.
You'll love it, mate. Seriously, go and see it.
The
Oh, well.
husband's offended the cynic's dog.
Yeah.
Small yappy type dog.
Mm-hmm.
Get fucked.
Boot.
That could be a compliment. See, Yikes likes small things.
Oh, movie, you're so aggressive sometimes.
What? Don't put me in the position, Brownie.
That sounds like
Okay, moving on swiftly.
World's
before
first
the,
live-streamed fist fight coming up.
Yeah.
In America, we have the Movie Cynic. In Leeds,
I'm
we
just
have Mr.
booking
Brown.
my flight over.
Who has the
See you in
longest
2
arms?
days. Okay, so for people who have seen it, we thoroughly recommend John Wick 4, don't we? And go see it at the cinema. We thoroughly recommend it, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sure.
Recommended.
It's
Recommended.
probably good. I'll let you know when I get back.
Okay. Let us know on Wednesday.
I will.
Okay.
Oh no, not this shit again.
Oh, no.
Okay, so from the sublime to the ridiculous, Lord Cord's news round at the Little Platoon. Is that you, Lord?
Apparently.
Okay. Let's press some buttons.
And the first item up on Lord Core's news is the film he hasn't seen, so I'm just going to hit the mute button and let you go for it.
It's doing very well, folks. $137.5 million.
How does that compare to other recent openings, like the MCU stuff and the rest?
Very good. Very
Okay.
good comparatively. Yeah. It's blown
Especially when
Shazam
you
out of the
consider the
water.
budget and everything too.
hmm
Like Ant-Man and the Wasp costs $200 million plus an insane amount of marketing. John Wick costs $90 million.
90.
Plus its marketing costs, of course. But every movie has gotten bigger and bigger, both in terms of story and what they deliver, but also box office wise too. So it's just it's nothing but gravy for this movie series, and rightfully so. It's fucking awesome, and it's getting more and more popular as it progresses, and it's not hemorrhaging on quality. It's just gotten better.
I think the 137 is US as well. It says worldwide there, but I'm sure it's US.
Converted to US dollars, yes.
So it's doing pretty well.
That's actually over what the first movie made in theory. The first movie made like 133 million, I think, worldwide.
Yeah, in total.
Yeah.
And what,
Yeah.
2 days in? 3 days
2
in?
days. Well, 3 days in
Three.
because of the midnight screenings, right, on
Yeah.
the Thursday. So
Wow.
What's the rating? Is it an R-rated film?
It's
In
a hard
America,
R. Yeah.
It's an R.
It's a hard R, the best kind of R.
In England,
Which is
it's 15.
15
Well,
over it.
that makes it even more extraordinary then if it's beating out, say, Ant-Man Quantumania, which is explicitly marketed as an all-the-family thing, and those do tend to bring in more anyway because they have a much larger potential audience. If an R-rated film, which is only really available to people, above a certain age and targeted specifically at them, is outperforming an all-purpose film, either this film is brilliant and that... Well, no, I was about to say either. No, it probably is the case that this film is quite good and that one is just shit.
all the early reviews were very, very good for this movie. So that probably helped quite a bit.
It's going to be, I would say, as Movie said yesterday, the second weekend is the key, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen because it's super positive word of mouth. I'm interested to see its cinema score too. I didn't see that. I take that more into consideration than like Rotten Tomatoes user scores, because cinema scores judging like the people who actually go to the theater as they're coming out of the theater, the people that really love it, and the people who are going to tell their friends to go see it or not. That's what's really important. And I think I said 700 million it'll probably clear. I'd say I'm still clinging to that. It's probably accurate.
It's on its
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Close to $1 billion for sure. Yeah.
I'm going to go see it again next weekend, I think.
seeing
I
it
am too.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna see it again.
I'm seeing it tomorrow on the biggest screen in England. So that's
Good for
gonna be
you.
interesting.
Here you go,
Just
Fiona.
tried to look it up on Rotten Tomatoes, and every time I do it, I've got a 404 not found.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Yeah.
I think it's like split exactly the same 95-95 audience and critics,
Wow.
I believe. The last I looked, which was earlier today.
Here you go, Princess Fiona. Moviegoers are desperate for something not shite.
But
That
this
is
is
true.
beyond just not shit. This is fucking good.
Well, this is entertainment.
Really
That's all it is,
good.
right?
Yeah.
There's no message. There's no underlying reason for it. It's just good entertainment.
Right, which is the exact same thing that people said about Avatar. But
Yeah, and I hated it when they said it about Avatar, so I'm wondering if I'll hate it when they say it about this film as well.
The difference there, though, is that James Cameron presented it, Avatar as like, it's the best fucking story ever, too. It's the best story and visuals to boot. And then it's visually pleasing, but the story sucks ass. This delivers exactly what it promises you. So if you go in expecting what it says it is, you're going to get it and then some. So like contextually, this is a far superior movie to Avatar to me. I mean, most movies are anyway, because I fucking hate that series. But
In your opinion.
Do you actually think it's better than the Batman then?
Oh,
like for me,
Yeah.
fighting talk.
it's probably more rewatchable. Legitimately more rewatch. I've seen the Batman like probably
Excellent.
5 or 6 times.
Have you? Oh god, I
yeah,
could only
yeah.
watch it once.
But No,
This is very
probably
watchable,
more
though.
rewatchable because
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
you know, it's very action oriented and
Yeah.
it's enjoyable that way.
Visually, it's quite stunning as well. This movie,
Yes. The
they did a
photography is
really good
amazing.
job.
But you know, I found out that they shot it on one of the biggest frame cameras they could find because they wanted space between. They wanted to show that they were fighting within one take. It wasn't cut up, so they had loads of wide shots when they were fighting, so you can see the beauty of the
That
fight.
explains a lot,
Yeah.
actually. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so they use these special cameras to make it shots as wide. That shot, as I said in the review, that shot when he's in the art museum, when Winston's in the art museum, that is just awesome.
Beautiful.
Those shots, yeah. So
Ego in the chat, channel favourites.
he's changed his avatar.
Yes, Velma Dinklage in the chat. Mr. Brown Lights, that's me. Jinkies. Wow. I love Z's voice more than the Lord's. Oh, he really knows how to get a they, them hot and bothered.
Yeah, that's the problem. People have to have a gender to find my voice attractive.
Whereas mine, anybody can love.
Okay, so it's going to do well. We're all enjoying it. It's a shoe-in for 750, isn't it?
I think so. At least 7.
But this is the only film in a long time I want to see again, and I've only seen it once in the cinema.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So not even Top Gun I wanted to see again, but this one I want to see again. You know, so there you go.
Well, I was thinking this is going to do really well in the Asian markets just for Donnie Yen being.
Donnie Yen.
yeah.
We didn't even mention Donnie Yen, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Like he alone is going to help kill it overseas, in my
Yes.
opinion. So
Yeah. Yeah, the China market.
and they love Keanu Reeves over there, anyways. So that helps.
Has the
as
film
well.
been let into China?
I think it has. I haven't double checked that, but
that's going to be $1 billion.
Japanese people eat it, so probably.
okay.
Yeah. So they're not going to have the tracker on the poster, are they?
Oh yeah,
He's on there.
Oh, no.
He's on one of the posters, but the poster itself is like in hues of pink and blue.
That's
so you
right.
can't
There you
really
go.
tell.
Will
so you
the,
can't distinguish his...
Will the dog be in a wok being cooked?
Oh no, that's a horrible thing to think about.
Yeah, they edited. They changed the
Blue
fate
Man,
of the
are
dog.
you available to read a super chat, please?
I can't read.
Could you learn and then come back?
Yes, I'll be back in an hour.
Okay.
Hooligan S3 1999. In my headcanon, John Wick is Ted Theodore Logan after being sent to military school. That reference is lost on me. Why is that?
Yeah, who's Theodore Logan?
Whoa, you don't.
I'm
Bill
googling
and
it.
Ted.
Bill and Ted, yeah.
Bill and Ted.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
You Philistines.
How did that get lost?
Sorry.
I wasn't a big Bill and Ted guy.
Okay, so let's move on, folks. This was announced just before we came on. John Wick spin-off Ballerina will be released in either spring or summer 2024. Starring channel favourite folks, Anna de Anus. And it says there, last appearance of Lance.
Is this a film or is it a TV show?
Well, it looks like a film, yeah.
Oh,
this
God,
is
I
the
can't
Ballerina
wait.
is the film, the Continental is the series, the TV show.
Oh, right. I can't wait to see this girl kick ass. She's so lovely.
Why didn't they? Is this film finished? Because I would think if it's finished, get it out on the back of this one. Don't wait till next year.
I think there's a bit too much competition now for the rest of the year for this movie to
Okay.
perform as well.
Well, how can what's his name be in it? He died.
So
In
it's
the
probably in
film as well.
post-production then.
Don't know. Unless it's a prequel.
Are you spoiling the movie right now?
I'm just saying. I'm just asking the question. Unless this is a prequel because it's got a picture of John Wick there, isn't it?
Yeah, but isn't the guy we're talking about dead in real life, or are we talking about somebody else?
Yeah, he's dead in real life as well.
Lance Reddick.
If anything, his scenes are probably were shot already. That's it. So
Yeah.
they're
Shot
probably
before he
fine.
died.
So
Yeah.
so I'm just saying though. But John Wick is in this.
No
film, so that
spoilers.
means-
No spoilers.
No, I'm just saying that
because-
means. No, shut up. Will you just let me explain? So that means, right?
Careful.
This is a prequel. This has got to be a prequel.
It is. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure this is a prequel. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
so-
not spoilers. That's speculation. It's a different thing.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
just-
this is set between 3 and 4.
Oh God, no spoilers, Brown. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's got to be a prequel. It's got to be. But I'll see anything with that girl in it, man.
Oh.
I hated Blonde, but I watched it because of her. She is drop dead gorgeous.
Anna de Armas is beautiful.
She's lovely.
I think she got spoiled after I learned that she'd fucked Ben Affleck.
Well, you know,
That kind of ruined her. I'm sorry.
Being very pretty doesn't mean you have good taste.
There
me,
you
or-
go.
Or does Angelica Houston look like V for Vendetta?
yeah, I was about to say that actually.
Yeah, it does. Oh dear.
It's a rather unfortunate look.
If
I
there's
can't.
one-
I can't unsee that now. If I ever see this film, I'll be expecting it to speak with Hugo Weaving's voice.
Interesting.
Just needs the
Other-
moustache.
Shall we move on?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can move on.
Yes, because there's tons to get through. Anybody see this? Austin Butler, who I didn't know who it was until I saw this. He went for the Miles Teller role in Top Gun, and Miles Teller went for the Elvis role, and neither of them got the role they wanted. They got the opposite role, which I thought was quite weird.
I think they did well in both roles.
They did.
Yeah.
Although Austin Butler did a extremely good job as Elvis, he was absolutely fantastic as Elvis.
Still not
in
seen
my opinion.
Elvis. Yeah,
I'm
telling you
I haven't seen
guys,
either of these.
I've not watched
If you have
it.
not seen Elvis, I recommend it. But the only problem is you should watch this in the cinema. It's a very much a cinema movie, Elvis. It really is. I watched it on a small screen, and it didn't have the same impact as when you see it in the
There you go.
cinema. So
Postman,
Gotcha.
good as Elvis.
yeah.
Karanatos. All shook up. Very good. Elvis is a great film, then, Ian.
It is.
Ooh.
I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, it's great photography. It's really
Yeah.
well thought out. The transitions between each scene is really artistic. The way they do it. Sometimes you don't even notice it's happening. But I watched it again, and you can see what Baz was trying to do with each scene and stuff like that. He's great as Elvis, even though sometimes he doesn't look like Elvis. But there's a scene at the ending that what they do is they mix the real footage with him, and I
Yeah.
swear you cannot tell the difference between what
Wow.
was shot by them and what the real footage was. It's an extraordinary movie. In fact, I would say the only thing that spoils it a bit was the makeup on Tom Hanks, but apart from that, the film is really good, really good. So I recommend it.
Tom Hanks was the manager, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Right. Okay. So sounds like a recommendation. Yes.
For me, yeah, but just my opinion.
I tried to go see it at the cinema, but I'm just lazy, so I didn't. Anyway. Okay, let's move on.
And what's this?
Atrocious.
Oh no! What the hell is this?
Here you go, folks. I knew you'd enjoy this.
I have a hot take on this.
Go.
I think this movie's actually going to be good.
That is a
What?
hot take.
They're not singing, are they?
It's going to be musical. I'm not one for musicals, but the only reason I think this will be okay is because Lady Gaga is actually insane in real life, and I think that will translate really well to a Harley Quinn role.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not going to go and see it.
I'm not going to go to the theater to see it, but I still think I think this one will shock people.
Maybe she can actually make Harley Quinn an engaging character, because I hate that character.
So do I. I don't.
Irritating.
Yeah.
I've never liked any incarnation of that character.
I never liked the cartoon when she was in the cartoon. I thought she was irritating in the cartoon as well.
Shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Yeah.
I like this better than, like, again, another hot take, the Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. That just looked like a sex doll, really. That didn't look
Yeah.
like a
That was the
character at
only
all.
reason to even watch it.
Oh, I know.
Although, in the film's defense, Margot Robbie herself does look like a sex doll, so it's kind of
that's
hard
fair.
to avoid that. I'm kind of with you, though.
Appealing
I think this one might be surprisingly good. I think it will be heavily, heavily stylized,
Yes.
and that will perhaps smooth over the weird genre clash of suddenly going from the Joker to a Joker musical. I hate musicals, though, so I'll probably still hate it.
So do I.
That's
But
a
I think
musical as well.
Is it a musical?
artistically, I can see it doing well.
It is a musical, Mr. Brown. Yes.
Ugh.
That's why everyone is weirded out about this sequel, because Todd Phillips said during the first one, like he didn't plan to make a sequel at all, and then the studio, I guess, forced his hand.
Well,
So
$1
he's
billion.
going-
Yeah.
Going a completely different direction with this, which is could work. Again, I think this will do surprisingly well.
Purely off the back of the first one, probably.
Hey.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on, because it's a bad news week this week, folks.
Did Dwayne
And-
Johnson get like divorced or something? Did someone chop off his balls? Because he's just been acting like a woman all of this year.
I think he's very embarrassed about what happened with Black Adam.
Well, it's just all of these. Sorry.
All the things that's happened to try and get it off the ground, because I think he was announced as Black Adam like back in like 2009 or some shit.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, like over a decade
Wow.
at least. And so then he finally gets a chance to play it, and he goes full diva and makes all these demands, and then that sinks or assists, at least at the very least, in sinking the DCEU. He's got to be embarrassed as fuck.
Well, I mean, it was sunk long before that. Let's.
Oh
face it.
yeah, but he definitely helped out, because like the whole plan, and they agreed to it, was that they'd focus the DCEU from now on, back in October, around Black Adam and Superman. And then Black Adam bombed, and they're like, out, bye.
Yeah.
And that was all him. Like, he throttled everything. He refused to have any connection with Shazam whatsoever.
Yes.
And Zachary Levi is going full diva and like damage control mode and pointing fingers and blaming everyone. And like, how can you not say this is just a giant shit show? Everyone's just
Right.
like, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. Like, okay, let's never take accountability, anybody.
Well, I can understand standing up for yourself and all this, but all of these DC stars lately seem to just be going ham on social media to
Mhm.
try and defend their shitty films, and it's
Yep.
turning more people off than onto their stuff.
100%.
Just let it be. Just let it be. You made a shitty movie. It's okay. Just don't stop fucking defending it. I think it also doesn't help the fact that James Gunn came in after, because the James Gunn reworking happened after Black Adam, right?
Yeah.
and
like,
now this
like the
film-
weekend after, they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
this film is
Gunn's in."
basically useless in that universe now. So why would I want to go see it?
Yeah, and that's what Zachary Levi was saying. This guy, he was saying that, well, James Gunn didn't say it's not connected, and then
Ugh.
a few days later, it's like, it's not fucking connected.
You would
this is a
think with
weird
how
one.
jacked these guys are, they would have some testosterone in their bloodstream.
Well,
like,
they're not allowed to have
seriously.
any anymore. If I may, Johnny Lawrence's mum in the chat. Someone break out the world's tiniest violin.
It's a really strange one. So as far as I understand it, at least, the controversy is that he, Mr. Shazam, reposted an article on his Instagram claiming that The Rock had blocked the appearance of
Yep.
other major
Yes.
DC characters in his thing.
Yes.
So already the question is, why the hell does The Rock have any say in what DC characters appear where? The guy isn't exactly known for being, well, intelligent or a writer. But so why is that? But then he subsequently updated his Instagram, and he said that look, people are just trying to blame me for something I never said. All I did was that I might have reshared this story on my Instagram, which clearly says that The Rock interfered and broke the film, with the caption underneath saying the truth shall set you free. But I didn't actually do anything. I didn't say anything when I reshared the article approvingly with a quote underneath it. I didn't mean anything by that. People are trying to blame me for something that I never said. Like, grow a pair.
It's a fucking woman's move right there. That's what women do when you catch them in an argument. I never said that. Why are you turning this on
I'll
me?
take
What do you
your
mean?
word for that.
I can understand too why this guy's freaking out, because what else does he have but Shazam? Who knew who the fuck Zachary
Well, he was
Levi
in
was
pretty
before
big-
this?
He was in a pretty big show called Chuck.
Yeah, it was Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Chuck. Okay, and how long ago was Chuck?
Like
a long
10
time
years
ago.
now?
10, 15 years.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
Oh,
I
wow.
really enjoyed it.
But if you're resharing it again, like, oh, I didn't do anything.
But
But
you know what
you're-
I've been noticing? It's like these stars. They kind of they think that they can make their crappy logic a reality. Just
Yeah.
listen to what this guy said. It makes no sense. As the Lord said, you know, he literally said it, and now he's trying to make an excuse and trying to make out he didn't say it. Yeah, That's
It's-
crappy logic, isn't it?
this
Hilarious.
is exactly why.
accountable.
Right. This is exactly
So
why
funny.
people like Henry Cavill, because look at all the shit he was embroiled in, didn't say a word, just kept his
Yep.
mouth shut.
Yeah,
Professional.
and after he was embarrassed by DC too, he kept it pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yep.
So
swallowed his
just
pride.
actors, please shut your fucking mouths. Promote your movie instead of doing this petty bullshit behind everyone's back.
You heard Vex. Shut your fucking mouth.
In the chats, it's been a while. Just a quick reminder that Natalie Portman can fuck off.
All
Agreed.
right.
Yeah, well,
Right
not
on.
not sure about the connection, but yes,
No
okay.
idea.
Right on.
Totally confused on
It's
that
a
one.
channel in joke. Shall we just move on because
Go.
DC's fucked, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, well, he can't move on, so we might as well.
And we
Yeah.
don't forget, we've still got the Aquaman 2 and Blue Beetle movie.
Blue
With
Beetle.
And
all-
Flash.
Beetle, I forget.
What's Blue Beetle? This one's passed me by completely.
Blue Beetle looks like
It's
a
a car.
CW TV show for DC brought to the theater. So
It's
it's
a
gonna be great.
Yahtzee car.
It's gonna be great.
Blue Beetle.
German engineering on the screen. That's
We're
what
just
it
going
is.
to love the adventures of Robbie Reyes and his Blue Beetle exoskeleton.
Oh,
Does anyone remember the show?
Karate Kid.
Sorry, what was that, bro?
It's the guy who's playing the Blue Beetle. Is it the guy out of Karate Kid?
Jamie
no idea.
Reyes, apparently. I'm looking this
Oh,
up.
is it?
Not that I
Who is
care.
Jamie Reyes?
Sorry, is this?
Oh no,
Blue
that's the
Beetle
title.
movies?
Sorry, no. Jamie Reyes is the name of the character, not the name of the actor. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know who
Solo-
the actor is.
Something or other.
Is this supposed to be part of James Gunn's new thing, or is this just a
No,
random
this is
movie?
something that
Past.
they'd already put in the bag before
Yeah.
the axe swung.
It's. I think you can sort of tell the decline of superheroes and the way they're scraping the barrel, even though they don't really need to be, just by reading the plot summary. So you go from, Superman, Batman, Iron Man, Captain America to, and this is the little blurb for the Blue Beetle. Mexican-American teenager Jamie Reyes gains superpowers when a mysterious scarab binds to his spine and provides him with a powerful suit of blue alien armor. That screams like Y tier.
Has anyone
Shocked.
ever heard of the? It was originally an anime, and then it became a cult classic movie called The Guyver.
No.
Yes.
No one. All right, this is
Z-
basically
Z
a
just said
massive-
yes.
Oh, you
Okay.
have.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Z says
yeah,
yes.
this
So
is-
no one's heard of it.
So
then,
no
fine.
one. Z
Kind
doesn't
of a
matter.
bio booster from that.
But this is basically a massive ripoff of that. The character.
Yeah,
that
he
already
plays
existed.
he plays Miguel.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cobra Kai Kid.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at some of the posters and production shots. This really
Posters-
does look like a CW tier.
Post
thing.
looks good, but it's probably the only thing what is going to be good about it. Let's move on. I'm losing the will to
Oh,
live.
for God's sakes, what is this rubbish?
Ezra Miller
Okay.
likes them PG-13 as well.
Yes.
Allegedly.
The Flash, PG-13 for sequences of violence and action, some strong language, and partial nudity.
Partial nudity.
Probably a man, not a woman. Don't worry.
Well, it's probably one of those things where it's just like you see a butt slightly for a second, right?
Yeah, it's not like Gavin McInnes is going to get his knob out halfway through the movie.
Movie of the year.
You keep saying that. Here's hoping you're right.
I'm
That's all
hoping
I'd
I'm
say.
right.
Yes. I mean, seriously, I want this film to be good, but I know it's not going to be. But we'll see.
Well,
We
might get
know
a-
it's not going to be, you know?
There might be a prison set crossover between The Flash and Kang coming up, no?
I don't know.
Easy.
True multiversal crossover.
Easy. Vex, are you available to read a chat, please?
Yes, I am.
It's my favorite one.
Okay.
Get it together.
Oh, just give Levi some nipple tassels and tell him to go suck eggs and spank his own ass on the hood of James Gunn's
Dear,
car.
oh dear. Where do we get this? Where do we get this girl from?
That's
God's
from the
sakes.
great Hey Would You Blow Me.
We sure do attract them on this stream.
We
don't
do indeed.
I just love some of the names. I just love them. Just think they're fantastic. I'm looking forward to this film. It's going to make a lot of money. It's going to be good. I can feel it in my water. The end.
I'm looking forward to it in the way that a sinister Nazi scientist is looking forward to the result of the experiment. It's very cold and dispassionate and psychopathic. I'm just perplexed by what comes from this weird combination of criminal actors and bad plots and terrible characters and DC. Yeah, it could be a thing.
Here
An
you go.
interesting
Side
shift
effects. God, my computer's so slow. It's I'll start again. Side effects in the chat. Well, Ezra is that?
It's too late. We've used the word about 15 times in the first 5 minutes of the stream. You might as well just go all out at this point.
Well, Ezra is a cunt. Is that partial nudity? Probably.
Probably.
There is one plus point about this film, though, isn't there?
Michael Keaton. And Batman.
Yes.
And yeah, the people that like Batfleck for some reason.
Oh yeah, he's in it. as
All
well.
two people.
I'll do-
I don't like Batfleck. He screwed anus. Didn't he? So,
He screwed
I don't
anus.
like him now. I don't like him now. So there you go.
Here you go, folks. Olaf. Oh, I can't speak.
My
Olaf.
friend Sergey.
Thank you. God, you're so posh.
I know.
You were right about Picard season 3, Brown. You might make it 2 in a row.
Were you right about Picard season 3?
I don't
Yes.
know.
What did he
I
say
have-
about Picard season
Yeah.
two?
What did you say about Picard?
I said it would be good. I said it wouldn't be perfect Star Trek, but it'll be acceptable considering the shite we've had previously.
I'm not sure if I believe you. However, I have written down all of the
cheers,
predictions
Lord.
that we made.
Oh yeah,
in
how is the prediction board going at the moment?
Well, it's still only on the 3, I think, but I have written them down, so we'll be able to actually check these in future. Next time someone says something outlandish like Brown was right.
The T-shirt
He's coming
designs
for you,
are
Brown.
waiting.
He's coming for you.
Yes. Genuinely, I just hope this film's good. Ezra Miller
Yeah.
is a twat, yeah. But
Yeah, but in the best of all possible worlds, the film turns out to be quite good, and he redeems himself, and he, actually goes to real rehab rather than actor's rehab, and he comes out of this a much better person who is regretful of his past mistakes, lives, learns, moves on, and becomes a really nice guy. I think both of those are incredibly unlikely, but the latter is much more unlikely than the
not
first.
happening, is it?
Yep.
Anyway, okay. It'll be good to see Batman, though, hopefully, if he's in it.
Speaking of,
And Batman.
Merch for the film, folks.
He's got too much
Looks
hair in his
great.
head.
Look at that.
I don't know. It looks a bit Val Kilmer-y.
It does a bit.
the hair is the only reason that gives it that. But Maya's hair looks good.
He's got a new costume though. It's not the one
Oh,
in
I
the
don't know. It's not got bat nipples.
No,
Well,
well, he never
that's a
did he?
start.
That was
That was the Clooney
other one.
Batman.
Yeah, that was So
Bring back.
Would
the
anybody
bat
buy
nipples.
that?
I don't know. Has he got a mask to go with it?
Pass.
How tall is this doll, by the way? What's the height for it?
That tall. Pass.
That's
It's not called a doll. It's called an action figure.
okay. Action figure.
Action figure.
And it's precisely
because-
6'5" high.
Oh wow.
No, I'm completely made that bit up.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's because Z, you were saying about something that was 3 feet long before the show.
Oh.
Oh yes, yes. The sluice hose.
No, he said that there's a like 3-foot long replica Batmobile. So that's why I'm wondering, is he supposed to sit in that replica?
That's a good call.
Yeah.
There would be.
That's why I'm wondering what the
3 foot
size
long
is.
Did I say that? I say a
It was
lot of
not
things.
Brian. It was not Brian. It was not Brian. It wasn't C. You said that.
I still have my 1989 Batman, Batmobile, and Batman action figure.
Do you?
Yeah,
Mine's got
got a
wrecked.
Batwing somewhere.
Did your brother sit on it? Ian?
No, he did. He didn't sit on it. My next door neighbour borrowed it, and then when he gave it back, the wheels had come off it. Bastard. So there you go. There you
Here you go, folks. George W. Trivia. Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas.
No, it's not. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that a lie or?
No,
true,
that's
or-
that's true. Is that? Yeah.
Oh wow.
Did he change it because there was already a famous Michael Douglas? Is that
Oh,
I think that isn't that the
yes.
rule in Hollywood that you can take a name, you can't share the
George.
same name as another major
Yep.
listed Hollywood actor. I think that's the
So
rule.
why did his sister change her name to Diane Keaton then?
Don't know. No
Was her
idea.
name
Don't
originally
know.
Michael?
Maybe.
So she had to change it to Diane.
Don't know.
Moving on.
Oh no! What is
Did anybody
this?
see this? I just laughed when I saw this. Batgirl stunt coordinator Scott Rogers discusses his work on Batgirl and compares it to the John Wick movies. It was like just doing John Wick.
You're joking. I saw the way she ran. For God's sakes.
Yeah.
There's no way. Absolutely no way.
Nobody believes
Again,
that for
just
1 second.
not wanting to take accountability for the fact that you made a shit product.
Well, we've not seen it, so we can't really judge, can we?
I mean,
I
is it a
mean-
safe bet though, given that
is
they
a
just
safe
scrapped
bet.
like $90 million worth of product?
Yeah.
I'm all for quotes like this because, there's a slim chance that they will drum up enough publicity and support to actually get the film released. And then we can all watch it and laugh
Yeah,
at
we've
how
said
wrong
that,
they all
yeah.
were.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
up Scott Rogers.
According to everyone I know, they destroyed everything. They destroyed everything. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to claim the money back on it. They had to.
That's what the
they had to
directors
destroy
said, yeah.
everything. Yeah, but I'm telling you, somebody's got a copy of that somewhere. Because
Yeah.
you have to take the rushes to a place where it gets ruined, and also when it was getting edited, I'm assuming half of it was edited. You have the rushes duplicated, right? Someone somewhere's got a copy of this film.
Okay.
Oh, God,
I'm
you
telling
should see
you.
my computer. My computer's got like 5,000 in progress saved versions of an Ant-Man
Yeah.
video. So there's no way that they only had
Exactly.
one.
Yeah, you're right.
They're probably
yeah.
just, maybe there's some time. Like once it all dies down, then
Yes.
suddenly it's just going to hit us. Like 2-3 years from now.
Comic-Con, some mask fella with a mask on is going to be selling it. I'm
And
telling
he'll be
you.
running just like Batgirl
Dylan
as he runs from
Mulvaney,
the-
probably.
telling you
Movie? Any thoughts on this?
The Fantastic Four movie that they made in the 90s just for the purpose of holding on movie rights was also destroyed. And you can watch that now. And that was in the
Oh,
90s.
okay.
Mega is 100% right. Someone has a copy of this movie.
That's right. Yep, someone's got it. Telling you now.
I know it's not the directors because the directors told a certain person that they just took all the hard drives before they
Yeah,
could
we
get
were told
access.
that about Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
I saw Batman, the Michael Keaton film, before it got released in the cinema, purely because I was working in post production, purely because I knew someone that was actually doing the duplication for the actual cinema,
Oh,
and
wow.
he put it on VHS for me, and I saw it on VHS before I saw it in the cinema. So
Whoa.
if something like that can happen, I'm telling you, somebody's got a copy of this film somewhere.
Mhm.
Have you still
Telling
got that? Have you still got the tape?
No, I threw it away.
That was worth a fortune. That was worth
Ages
a
ago.
fortune.
Yeah.
now.
Threw it away. It was a bad copy. Well, actually, no, it wasn't too bad. The copy wasn't too bad. So there you go.
Could be a millionaire by now.
Could be.
Had you saved that film? Yeah.
Could be.
I'm speechless with him thinking that the stunt work is as good as John Wick.
He's trying to sell himself, isn't he?
smoking?
He's
Yeah.
trying to sell himself. So I don't blame him for doing that, but he does come across as a dick, doesn't he?
This guy did one of the John Wick coordination things, didn't he?
I
Did he do
don't
John
think
Wick
so.
3?
Oh, did he?
I think he did.
Don't know.
But I mean, hell, maybe the stunts were amazing if they didn't
Yeah.
involve her moving
with
at
a big
all.
Timberland boots running up the
But
street.
he's the coordinator, so he was
Okay.
coordinating her stunts, and they look like that. So
I really want to see the film. It's on my the top list of things. I would drop every other project I've got on if this film came out. Like abandon my family, weddings can get fucked. No,
I think it'd make money, don't you?
just for how
I mean-
bad it is, yeah.
For all the wrong reasons, yeah, it would make money.
I mean, Morbius was so bad they released it twice. So this one,
Still made money,
Still
yeah.
failed.
I'm pretty sure that did lose money, didn't it?
of course it did, because the studio looked at it and said, all of the young people are making memes. This means it's really popular. Let's re-release it at the cinema. Yeah, okay,
'Cause
well
that's
done.
how
You're
that
now a
works.
meme yourself. It's just, oh dear.
Okay, we'll move on. It's dog shit, but anyway.
Well, we don't know. We'll never know.
No. Gun news, folks. He's
What's he
kind
saying
of
now?
he kind of knows who he wants to cast.
Does he?
Who?
It's probably someone that's LGBTQ thing.
I was gonna say
isn't it?
not white, probably.
He's making lists of potential actors for the movie.
This guy is going to
Fucked
destroy.
before it even gets
He's
going.
going to destroy the DC. He's going to destroy it. I just get the strange feeling that he's just going to wreck it.
Is it destroyed already?
He's talking too much.
Yeah, he is.
Does this bro lives on Twitter? He needs to
Like
chill.
he needs to be keeping a lot of this. Like, okay, say he did just that reveal where he did like the whole monster squad and all that stuff. Okay, do that and then just shut up. Don't
Yeah.
say anything else. Keep people on the edge so they actually look forward to your product.
That's right.
Didn't I mean, just playing devil's advocate, didn't people quite like the fact that Terry Matalis was engaging consistently with fans on Twitter about
Well,
Picard Season 3?
It was on one of our streams or one of Spacebook's streams in
Yeah.
the chat.
No, but the thing is that it's different. He was basically saying he was encouraging the fans. He wasn't slagging them off or anything. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't
This guy is just doing damage control on Twitter. when
Yeah,
he's
and he
there.
wasn't saying how great things were going to be either. He was just, engaging, talking to people about it, stuff, and what he tried to do and all that. So
There's so much writing on this too, because if the MCU would have never gotten off the ground if Iron Man wasn't good.
yeah,
So
Agreed.
what are you going to do if this is bad? And there's no flawless filmmaker. And at some point, James Gunn's going to make a stinker. And if either way, if this or Guardians 3 is that stinker, then if Guardians 3 is the one, then no one's going to have a lot of hope and trust in him for his Superman movie. And then if this one's the stinker, then you just fucked the DCU.
Well, he's on a good track so far because what was the show with Peacemaker? There you go. A lot of people liked
Oh,
Peacemaker.
he should just shut up. Seriously, just
Yeah.
shut up and do the fucking job. That's
Yeah.
it. Just do the job, man.
Here you go, folks. Jim D in the chats.
Oh, do you know that
there's $1 billion there. Just in
they're
that
talking
statement.
now? I saw an article today, and now they're saying that they want to cast, or they're considering casting Henry as James Bond.
Yes.
Well, that would be good.
That's crazy, right? Because
Why is
the
the Bond?
makers were saying he was too old because they want 5 films out of the new guy that plays James Bond, and they're saying you
perfect.
can't do Henry because Henry's too old. But now they're saying Henry's in the running.
Which is funny because he was too young the last time they wanted him.
Yes, yeah.
Where's the sweet spot?
They just don't want that guy.
There is a flaw
I think that's it.
in that, though, Ian.
Well, what's the flaw?
Well, they killed Bond, so I don't care anymore.
No, we know they killed Bond, but that's just that iteration of Bond. Do you know what I mean? They're
No,
gonna
I don't
just
care.
ignore
I
all
don't
that.
care how they made
Oh,
me
well,
feel walking out
okay,
the cinema
okay.
after.
If
going
Henry plays
cabin
Bond,
crazy.
if Henry
can go
plays
fuck
Bond, I'm going to
themselves.
be there. I'm going to be there to see that film.
No,
Well,
they
all
can
they
go
have to
fuck
do is not
themselves.
take 5 years between movies, and then
Yeah.
they can get 5 out of
Yeah.
him. Daniel Craig's 55 right now. He probably
Yeah.
finished filming at 53. Henry Cavill's 39. That lines
right.
up. That's totally
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, how is 39 too old?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, Roger was in his 40s when he played Bond, the very first
And even
Bond.
like
So
Pierce
Yeah.
Brosnan, I think, was in his 50s when he left Bond.
yeah,
They should do an older Bond with Brosnan. That'd be great.
Yeah, but not with Craig because he's got a face like a melted ice cream.
No, he can go fuck
He's
himself.
packing
'cause
down
he
there,
was-
though. That's what makes him a good Bond.
He can go fuck himself because he was
I never
complicit.
thought he was right for Bond when they cast him. I remember when they cast him, I was like, this is the guy that gets to play Bond? And he looked okay in the first one. Then as the films went on, he just became Mr. Potato Head, didn't he? He just looked awful. Every film that
He did start looking pretty old.
he
But
did.
he was never attractive in the first place.
No,
Like,
that's
even
what
when he was
yeah,
in
exactly.
Road to Perdition,
Yeah.
that was like 2002. So he was
Yeah.
in his early 30s, and he's still. I mean, he's just not an attractive guy.
No.
But also,
No
I mean, I
offense to
don't think
Daniel.
I've never seen him in anything either where I've thought your acting makes up for how weird you look. I don't think he's not even that good an actor. I mean, he's serviceable in
not.
some things. The best he's ever been is average. But he's been given these roles which you would hope would be earmarked for people with actual talent. And hasn't demonstrated any of that. Then he goes over to do is it Ryan Johnson? What's Ryan Johnson's weird mystery
Onion
detective?
film.
The Onion thing.
Roundhead.
That
He
one.
was weird in that. I couldn't
'cause
get over
for
that.
why the hell would you take someone who doesn't have a great acting range anyway and then ask him to be someone from the deep south of America?
Yeah.
It's not believable. The accent is suspicious. It's not terrible. I've heard worse, but it's not great. He just looks out of place in everything he's in these days and sounds out of place in that.
Wait,
Oh.
in the Glass Onion stuff too, like his face doesn't move at all with the accent. So his accent
Have
is
you
all
seen it?
colorful.
Mm.
But it's fucking terrible. Don't watch it.
No, it's
Oh my
Roundhead. He can
god.
go fuck himself.
Glass Onion made me pop a vein, literally. That is one of the shittiest movies of 2022.
I missed out on Knives Out and Glass Onion. I
Yeah,
don't
so did I.
plan on visiting them. So
I don't.
Knives
leave it
Out
that
was
way.
redeemable. Knives
it
Out
that
was
way.
not bad.
I'm not going to watch any of that shit at all because he destroyed Star Wars. So fuck him. That's all I
Yeah.
can say.
I've heard it's the dipshit's clever movie. So probably stay
Whatever.
away from
Not
them.
even that clever.
Don't care. Stream killer.
Yeah.
Guess what, folks? Obviously, there's trouble at Disney.
Trouble at Mill.
Nuh-uh.
Indiana Jones, the TV series, is rumored not to be moving forward.
I wonder why.
Disney reportedly told Lucasfilm that they have to solely focus on Star Wars.
Is that Star Wars?
Star
Damn
Wars.
word.
What was the what's the decision for just focusing on Star Wars, by the way? Like realistically, why would you do
It's
that?
fucked.
Well, no, I think it's not. Well, it is fucked, yes, but I think the reasoning behind the scenes, we've had all the press releases saying that for the first time, Disney is going to start focusing on quality rather than quantity, which I love as a quote coming from Disney themselves, because that admits that they've just been pumping out masses of shit, and now they're going to try and make a few good things. As though you shouldn't have been doing that from the beginning. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was part of the resource consolidation. They had too many projects on. They can only focus on, putting all of their resources behind one established franchise, and Star Wars is much bigger than Indiana Jones, so they will rape Star Wars instead. But I don't know whether it's necessarily a good thing. I mean, it might have been nice if we'd spread some of the punishment out across two franchises and done less damage to both, as opposed to focusing all of your nefarious intent on one franchise and driving that one into the ground. Because they'll just move on to Indiana Jones in a few years' time. Once Star Wars has stopped making even $1, then they'll move on to something else, and then Indy gets destroyed anyway.
They've got 3 months. 3 months to salvage Indiana Jones. It's not going
See,
to happen, though, is
but
it?
I agree with what Platoon said. It's like, why just take a break from Star Wars, if anything. Put a little effort
They can't
into
afford it.
Indiana Jones
Yeah,
because
they
we're
can't.
Star Wars out as well is the other thing, right?
Yeah.
And
They
then
can't
revisit
afford
it.
it.
All
If
the
you're gonna
things
do
they should have
quality-
been doing that's right, they didn't do. So I Disney's gonna fuck itself. Well, it is fucking itself now.
Well, it's fucked,
Either
isn't it?
way.
Yep. It's
Yeah,
getting
either way
hard
it's
right
going.
now. No, Vex, you're 100% right. Like that is the goal. That should be the goal, and that's the solution to the problem. But they just
Yeah.
cannot afford to do it because they put all their eggs in this basket.
But it's just people will come watch a product regardless of what the original IP is if it's good. So if your goal
Well,
is
it's not
good,
been.
but if your goal is to put out good product, right? Take a break from what you've been literally ass scraping for the last decade. Put your effort into something else. Innovate a little bit. Revisit it in a few years when people have basically forgotten what you did wrong.
But it's unwise as well because it's not even as though they can put all of their money into Star Wars if they want to, but at the moment they've been putting the majority of their money in terms of production value and production costs into Star Wars as it is. And it's given us The Mandalorian, which is underperforming the Book of Boba Fett, which underperformed Obi-Wan, which underperformed The Mandalorian. So even their flagship show is not actually bringing in the cash anymore. So it's not just a case of, well, we're going to focus all of our resources on Star Wars and then Star Wars will be good. You've been doing that already. And look where it's got you. So I'm kind of with Movie Cynic in that they can't afford not to produce Star Wars, but it's almost a no-win scenario anymore. They can't afford to stop doing it, but they also can't afford to keep doing it because they don't know what they're doing with it. So they are on for a loss, whichever option they take.
See, they made Indiana Jones right, but the right thing to do when they were revisiting Indiana Jones was to recast Indiana Jones and have a new Indiana Jones and new adventures, new characters with a new director heading it, and make sure it's a boy's own adventure. That's what they needed to do to go forward. Therefore, you would have more longevity with if you do it right. You'll have you can do another film, then another film, then another film.
Yeah.
No, but they didn't do that.
No, they should have recast Shia LaBeouf's character and turned it into an action series set in the 70s.
Maybe, but that's what I'm saying. Going forward, they should start with something new. They shouldn't have held on to Harrison Ford, and do you know what I mean? And because that's kind of killing the franchise. Do you know what I mean? Once you establish Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones at this age, do you know what I mean? You can't go any further. Do you understand what I'm saying?
If I may, folks, Hostman's super chat just popped off. So, Hostman, the super chat disappeared, mate. Oh, here we go. My computer's doing silly stuff tonight. Here we go, folks. Hostman Socrates in the chat. To all the Disney stands, fuck you, I was right. 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 And you know what, Hostman? I'm going to fuck you, I was right. There you go. Have that one on me.
But the longer running problem is that, you can have all of the money in the world and you can hire all the big name stars and you can buy up all the big IPs. But for some reason, the one thing they're incapable of doing is finding a single writer who can actually put a script together and a plot that makes basic amounts of sense. It's recruitment, which is the problem as much as it is. They've got all the money. They've got all of the money to make a turd look brilliant, to make it shine and sparkle like The Mandalorian.
Nice.
But they don't have anyone who can actually write a script,
They're
which is
out
astonishing.
there, though. They're out there.
Oh, they are out there, but the problem is that these are not the people being chosen, and they're not the people
Exactly.
being elevated or pushed to the fore.
Yeah.
They're being overlooked by and large by people who I'm morally certain are the ones who come in and they espouse the same value set as the people who run the studio, and so they're hired because of their connections and because they are relied upon to push the boilerplate messaging that they want to push in these shows. There's no room for innovation. And also, George Lucas was doing these interviews back in the early 2000s saying that making films in the 1970s arguably was easier to do in the Soviet Union than in America, because in America you have to please the markets and studios are very risk averse, whereas in the Soviet Union all you had to do was to please the government, and that was relatively easy to do by comparison. You knew what the government wanted. So you've got this weird combination at the moment of Soviet style moral political messaging combined with an incredibly risk-averse studio and a market of studios which is very risk-averse, and you're now getting the worst of both worlds. You have to please the political apparatchiks, but you also can't take any risks lest you offend them, which means that they're not going to bring in any writers who actually have brand new ideas for new products, because, well, why would you take that punt when you can just say, here's another Star Wars show and the name recognition will bring in a guaranteed minimum amount of money?
It's not doing it, though, is it?
That's
Not
not doing it anymore. Yeah.
Not anymore.
What about all the extended universe books, which, according to Kennedy, don't exist?
Well, they don't exist. You can't
Don't
have them.
exist. Yeah, she got rid of them.
They're just there for them to pillage all the best bits.
I'm confused, right? So this new guy, well, he's not a new guy. He came back to run Disney Studios. What's his
Igor.
name? Bob Igor. Bob Igor
Igor.
came back to run. He knows what the problem is. He has all the power in the world, Disney. Why don't he just fire these people? Why don't he just get rid of them? Or say they're under contract, right? You go and direct this crappy thing while I find new people to direct the most important thing. Why doesn't he do that? I'm totally confused.
Well, he is. He's getting rid of them now because of the. It's connected to the banking crisis as well, isn't it? Because they're basically running out of money.
Well,
I think it's just too late. They ran themselves into the ground,
Yeah.
and they're just doing damage control now. And
Ticking
whatever they do,
boxes
it's
have
not going to
fucked
work out.
themselves. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you've got the huge and understated problem of internal company politics that goes into making hiring and firing decisions.
Yes.
So any studio, any company which decides, for example, to do away with the majority of its HR department, which is one of the most bloated sectors in any corporation, will find itself, simply because of the type of person liable to be employed in that role to begin with, accused of racism and sexism for disproportionately firing minorities and women, because the departments targeted for cuts are disproportionately staffed by minorities and women. So Bob Iger can go and say, well, we're going to get rid of KK, we're going to get rid of all of the writers she's hired, and then you know exactly what gets leaked to the press. Disney becomes toxic because Disney then becomes known amongst the people who back it financially as a company which is not happy hiring and employing women and minorities and the rest of them. So there's
Whenever that
reputation management
happens,
that comes into
Yeah,
that.
but that doesn't matter as long as the films make a crap load of money
fucked,
and
isn't
people
it?
are happy with it. You can counter that by success, and
You
success
can.
always. Yeah, you can. If you have a huge success, nobody's going to question you at all. That's what Hollywood's all about, and it'll always be about money.
But
So
the question,
all-
the problem they have though is that you have to put seed capital in to get that kind of success. So you have to look for inward investment before you can put the money into the product, which will then make you more money by
Well, the
being a
banks have
success.
failed, though.
No,
So,
but
well,
you
the
don't-
banks have largely failed for many of the same reasons. Silicon Valley Bank goes down because it prioritizes random ESG policies as opposed to actually making money for its clients, which is very similar mechanic that plays in Disney's HR department as well. You're banking on the wrong thing, but you become locked into that because once you've signed up to it, any deviation from the political norm in the company will cause your investors to take flight because they signed up on the basis that you were going to score well along ESG lines, for example, in the case of Silicon Valley Bank. Also applies to Disney as well when Disney's marketing itself to investors. Disney will have to try and market itself on having a pretty good S score in ESG and a good G score in ESG as well to be classed as a well-run company that it's safe to invest in. And if they start firing minorities and firing women, all of a sudden those scores tank, which means, well, what are the investors going to do if they look at Disney? They're going to say, well, maybe this isn't such a safe bet after all. Also, we have no money left ourselves because we've all done the same thing. So everyone's going bankrupt. So Disney can't bring in inward investment, so it can't make good films, so it can't reap the success of
She's
good
putting her
films.
hand up. Look, this is the classroom.
I just want to say, can you blow up his screen so we can see the avatar moving?
Oh, sorry.
Too late, I've finished.
Oh, I wanted to see it moving and everything because
And
you were
also,
on a good.
After you'd finished Platoon, you should have had those glasses on, the badass glasses on. Like
Yeah.
that. You should-
How do you know they're not already on?
because I can't see it. Oh dear, that's hilarious. I don't know if he's clever enough. He'd use the amount of money that he's got, hire people that are really good at making films of the same scale, but reducing the cost. Do you know what I mean? Hiring people that can actually do that, because there's loads of people out there can actually do that. And just kind of, as I said, if he gets one success on Star Wars, a huge success, people are just going to
It's
shut
dead.
up.
It's fucking dead, though.
I know it's dead. I know. I'm just
For,
saying. It's dead.
for people of my age, your age, Ian,
Yeah.
if they rested it for 10 years, assuming
We'll be
we're still
dead.
here. Yeah. Whereas,
I mean,
it's-
after things like Star Trek and Lower Decks and
Right.
Discovery, we all thought that Star Trek was a dead franchise.
Yeah.
But then you've got the one good thing, Picard
Yeah.
season 3,
Yeah.
putting it all back on track again, and that's what you need.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't think they've got the capacity to do that now.
I don't think they've got the guts to do that.
No,
That's
Okay.
the thing.
Okay.
So
they've got to make some hard decisions at Disney,
yeah.
and Twitter is not going to like it at all.
No, but that's the thing. Success will shut them all up. That's the thing. So
They
anyway.
saddled themselves with vast amounts of debt just to acquire this property to begin with, which
Yeah,
they
they
will
did,
have to pay
yeah.
back eventually.
Yeah.
Disney Plus was a huge loss-making exercise because all new startup corporations are, but they are going to have to try and make the money. So it's not just a case of starting from zero in terms of finances. They're starting with a huge budget shortfall that they have to try and make up from somewhere. So they can't do nothing because, well, what the hell was the point of giving the seed capital to begin with?
okay, this is all connected with what we've said.
Speaking of something that's old and haggard and finished.
Is this an article from Doomcock? I don't
Grace
know.
Randolph, Mike
Oh,
Zero,
is it?
is one of those.
Yeah.
Comes around once a week, I think.
Apparently, the clock is ticking. She's got 2 and a bit years. Why can't
It's
they
been-
just get rid of her?
It's been clicking for 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
and it will carry on clicking.
I'm
I'd
pretty
love
sure
to
that
Just a
her,
woman to run a franchise. Just get rid of
I'm
her.
pretty sure her departure's been announced every week since what, 2016?
Yep.
Pretty
I'd love
much.
to know what's on them negatives.
I never thought I'd be saying this about Kathleen Kennedy because, like, I'm a huge fan of Spielberg, and when I used to read the credits, I was thinking, yeah, she's really good. Look, she's responsible for E.T. You know, all
Coffee
these
for
films
Mr.
that you know,
Spielberg.
and then suddenly she's in charge of Star Wars, and just
Coffee
goes to
for
show she
Mr.
had no talent
Spielberg.
whatsoever.
It probably
At
shows that she was
all.
just sleeping with the right people before.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Negatives, blackmail, yes. Here you go, not Brian. Kathleen Kennedy will only leave Lucasfilm in a pine box.
She's married to Frank Marshall, isn't she? And Frank Marshall's a
Really?
pretty good producer. Yeah, Frank Marshall's a pretty good producer. He produced the Bourne films.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Here you go.
Warriors. Responsible for the Warriors, man.
Here you go, Stuart Mitchell. Hello, Stuart. Fade in.
Yeah, she's married to Frank Marshall.
Fade
But
in.
she's like, you know, let's say that she was hypothetically really talented and good at something once. Like, you guys have been doing
Coffee,
The Godfather
making
quite
coffee.
recently. I mean, she might have been a really good consigliere for the bosses of a studio.
Yeah.
But then you put her in the role of The Godfather and she's shit because she has
Yeah.
no management skills and she doesn't actually understand what goes into the creative process that creates the franchise to begin with. She could well have been, you know, genuinely very talented in the role she had, but that role is not matchable. It's not a one-to-one transition to the role she now occupies.
Have you seen the making of Jurassic Park? She saved them all because the tornado was coming towards the island and they had to get off the island desperately. Otherwise, they'll all have been killed. And she literally got a plane for everyone to get on at the last moment.
Well,
Apparently
obviously
she was
she's
responsible.
better off in logistics then. Instead
Yeah,
of-
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was
there
told
you go.
recently that it's really too bad that Alonzo was fired because we don't have enough women in roles like that. I was like, is this the kind of mindset we really deal with? You'd rather
Yeah,
have a
that is-
woman in a role than someone fucking competent. What does it
Yeah.
matter?
Yeah.
I think one of you guys should just identify as a woman and take the role because there is no such thing as a woman anymore, right?
Well, I do every
Oh,
Wednesday,
that-
and I think Z does every Saturday and Sunday.
Easy.
I'm in a dress right now.
Here you go, Andy Mouse 123 at Mr. Brown Alliance. That's me. Let's see the Lord's avatar.
She's turning 70 in 2
Yeah.
months.
She has
Is it
the
not
neck of
time-
a wrestler, bro.
I'm not on a rant. Why am I up again? Leave me alone.
Oh,
It's a
no, somebody
beautiful
wanted to see your
avatar.
avatar. Yeah, somebody wanted
Oh,
to see your avatar.
well, hello. Cheers, and all that. Yeah. Okay. Now you can go away now.
Put the boss glasses on.
I can. I need to say something good to justify
Yeah,
it,
go
but-
on, and then we'll
No,
move
it's
on.
too
Go
late.
on.
Too late. I can't. Kathleen Kennedy is a woman.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There you go.
Is she though?
Is she,
Is
though?
she? Is she?
Not that neck, man. I don't agree.
Or her neck.
Kathleen.
like her
It's
neck?
huge. It's bigger than mine.
You got things. You got a thing about necks. You didn't like the Flash's neck. Now you don't like her neck.
I'll judge you based on your neck.
neck.
Why doesn't
you're a
she just,
vampire secretly. Is that why?
can she not just take the hint and fuck off?
Well, she's turning 70 in 2 months, and I'm reliably informed that life expectancy in the United States is falling. So
It is.
maybe, you know, it'll catch her, or she'll retire.
The thing, history's going to prove that she was an arse when it came to Star Wars.
No,
There's
she's
no way
American.
she's going to
No,
avoid
no.
that.
She's American, so it's ass.
Or an ass then. But you know, there's no way they're going to avoid that. The people that destroyed all the franchise, you know, in history when they do history books and stuff, they're all going to be mentioned. I don't know why they don't know this.
Yeah, there's a
All
there's
of
a
them.
book.
I'm just
there's a book
picturing
about
black
all
and
this.
white pages. You've got Hitler, Eichmann, now
Yeah,
Kathleen
Kathleen
Kennedy.
Alonzo, or whatever her name is. You know, best test ever. She's not a woman. She's a hoss.
Why the long
Actually-
face, Kathleen?
She's not a horse. She's a broom. If I
Just
got,
like
got
people
that
like,
reference right.
you know, who are referencing Hitler. Well, Kathleen Kennedy did some good things.
He did. She did. It
Did
did.
some good
Sorry.
stuff
Always
back
paid
in
her
the
bills on time. She was a
That's
good
right.
paying son of a bitch.
Okay, let's move on.
She never gave Frank
Kathleen
Marshall a
goes.
baby though, or did she?
Fuck's sake, just go.
Who knows?
Still connected to Kathleen. This is the list of the Kennedy projects for Star Wars.
Did you also see that the rumor is that they're going to announce another new 3 Star Wars films at the upcoming
Yes.
Star Wars convention? So the list will get longer.
That's with Ray back in it, isn't it?
Ray.
Oh god, I hope not.
The total canceled projects will get bigger.
Chat. Does anybody care? I think we do care about Star Wars, don't we? We all care about Star Wars.
I
but
think
it's just
Z
not-
only cares about
it's just-
Star Wars.
It's just
I
fucked.
do.
It's fucked, isn't it? It's fucked.
I love Star Wars. I love early Star
Yeah.
Wars. I love the prequels. I love the Clone Wars. I even love Star Wars Rebels. So shoot me. But the sequel trilogy is just diarrhea, and so is everything on Disney Plus. It's so painful to go through. I still get post-traumatic stress disorder flashbacks to Boba Fett episode 3. You know, when they did the Moss Vespa bikes.
Chat.
Star Wars still works today. I remember during the pandemic when they opened the cinemas, I went to see was it the 50th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, or was it
Yeah,
the 40th? And
40th.
I'm telling you, when I saw that in the cinema again, it's
brilliant.
still exciting. Still exciting. So.
Chat. We love Star Wars, don't we? We genuinely love Star Wars, but it's just fucked, isn't it? Chats.
Question.
Yeah.
I noticed
Yeah.
that Solo is on. Is that not the Han Solo movie that already came out?
It is, but I think because they changed directors halfway through, so the original version of Solo was by the guys who were behind the Lego movie, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, so
Not
that's
quite
Phil
sure.
Lord
Yeah.
and Chris Miller, right? Lord and Miller.
Lord and Miller.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the version that was cancelled. The list is slightly misleading because there are more than 2 completed ones, obviously. But I guess the point is, if they change directors halfway through, or if they changed actors, or changed scripts, or changed direction, they don't count as completed projects according to the
Gotcha.
rules of this list, which is why the Rise of Skywalker isn't on there either.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
The chat loves Star Wars, but I think we're resigned to the fact that it's fucked.
Who would have thought we'd have got to this point with Star Wars? I was so excited when I heard they were going to make more.
Yeah.
I'm
got there
absolutely
really
dreading the Ahsoka series because she's a character I really do like.
Yeah, it's the problem with all of the Mandalorian stuff and everything tied to the Mandalorian stuff, which is that there's so much brilliant potential, and you just know that it will be used in the most appalling ways imaginable. Which is even worse than just saying, well, it's going to be shit from the off. No, because you could do something really good with Ahsoka, but they're not going to.
Yeah, they're not. It's
You
just,
know, it's just going to be another girl boss vehicle.
That's what I'm saying. When I first saw Force Awakens, I was perplexed. I came out thinking, was that a good movie or was that not a good movie? Do you know what I mean? And
Good movie.
you know, I was just confused. And then suddenly, obviously, as time went on, we all caught on, didn't we, what they were doing? So,
And The
Yeah,
Force
but-
Awakens annoyed me at the time. I remember going to see it. I think I was first year at uni, I think that came out. And we biked over, and I almost got run over by a bus because cycling in London is just murder. Got there, minor panic attack because of almost being killed. Got into the cinema, thought, finally, another new Star Wars product. Came out of the cinema and thought, that was just A New Hope. It wasn't shit, but it was
Soft
just
reboot,
so
yeah.
obviously a clone.
At least it felt like a Star Wars movie, but there you go. We didn't know what was coming around the corner, though, did we? Hostman Socrates, HK47, $5. I care about original Star Wars. I care about the prequels. I care about the Thrawn trilogy. I care about,
Knights of the Old
Co-
Republic.
yes, just not
not,
Disney.
I mean, you guys are all very young compared to, I guess, me and Ian. But I
Speak for yourself.
actually saw Star Wars when it was released in the cinema in England. I literally saw it when it was released. I think it was a week after it was released, but I saw the original version in the cinema, and I was, to put it mildly, blown away by the film. The first shot when that thing comes over your head, that ship comes over your head. You've never seen anything like that before in your life. So that's the impact it made on me and millions around the world too. And I can't believe that these people destroyed something that was so good, literally destroyed it. Now you can't really go back to it, really. Unless,
We are not even blaming J.J. Abrams, are we, Ian?
No, I don't think it was JJ's fault. I think
Not
he just got
fully,
sucked into the rubbish. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's fucked, everybody.
That's the conclusion. It's fucked, everybody.
Lord mentioned this a moment ago. Star Wars Celebration in April.
What is there to
announced.
celebrate anymore? Why are we celebrating?
I don't know.
There are still a lot of Star Wars fans out there has no clue what's happening. So there will be a lot of people celebrating this. I
This
guess.
cut runs deep, doesn't it?
What would you like to see in a sequel trilogy?
Sequel? No, I just like to see something new. I want to see a Star Wars film that doesn't refer to the old films, nor does it refer to the Disney Star Wars. New characters, new threats, new everything. That's what I want to see, and special effects that you've never seen before, because that's what Star Wars was all about. The visual effects, more, or not all about, but it was a key thing about Star Wars. Because I don't know about you guys, but you remember Return of the Jedi when I saw a clip with those speeders going through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how the fuck did they do that? And
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to see the movie after I saw that clip. And then I saw the Walkers Empire Strikes Back, and I definitely, you know what I mean? It was the key thing about those Star Wars films was one of those elements, the special effects elements that drove you there. So I don't know.
But then I would happily take the special effects of Star Wars in the 1980s over the special effects of Marvel in the 2020s.
Oh god, yes.
And the reason those films hold up, even though the effects, if you watch the original versions, haven't been updated, they hold up because they tell good, faithful, simple stories with brilliant characterization, which touch on, the basic themes of what it means to be a human being.
Yeah.
They're just they're not even especially exceptional when it comes to writing. They're just solid, well done, well intentioned, and they tap into the fundamentals. I want a Star Wars thing that's actually written like a Star Wars production, and not something that's just been glossed over, like The Mandalorian has been, or any other recent Star Wars show. I don't even know what I would want to see from a sequel to a sequel trilogy. I mean, what can they even do anymore? The old expanded universe had sequels to the sequels, but we can't do that because they're gone. So
what
seriously,
what about tying Kathleen Kennedy up to a Death Star and blowing her up? That'd be great. Yeah. Here you go, Melvin Deeply, Star Wars, let it die. I've seen enough.
Seriously, what they really need
Final
to do
comments.
with Star Wars is they need to not refer to what has gone in the past with everything and create something new. Same thing with Star Trek. Create something new within that universe and make it fast moving as well.
You could
try
even
not
go
to be
back.
too clever.
You could go back by the same amount of time as you could go forward. You could go back 1,000 years, and you would still have enough to tell. You wouldn't have to reference anything that comes afterwards if you go 1,000 years back and do the Old Republic stuff. And the Old Republic stuff is, by and large, brilliant. And they are still talking about remaking Knights of the Old Republic as a game. I don't think that will ever see the light of day, but at least they are talking about doing that, which means that they have access to all of the material they would need. Do that. The stories are already written. They're already good. The characters are great, and you're not really constrained by what comes afterwards to a great degree when you go that far back.
I don't know. I just think that they should just get rid of the Empire. It exists in the universe. It still exists in and the rebels or the Jedi, but not refer to it. Not to have it on just something new. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just that's what I think they should. But anyway, that's just me.
How would you feel if Bob Iger got Kathleen Kennedy big press conference
and fired
told her to apologize unreservedly?
That'd be great.
I'll let you down. We're going to do our best for you.
Yeah,
How would you feel
I'm
about that?
Not usually in favour of show trials, but that one might be.
That's never going to happen.
No, it's never. No, it's professionalism, isn't it?
As I said on the previous slide, folks, it's fucked. Moving on.
Oh, what?
Oh. There is a positive though. There is a silver lining.
I just don't like his face. He's got a punchable face.
He looks like
why would you
Hasbulla
trust
with
this
a
guy
beard.
with anything now?
Because he's a success according to Netflix. A lot of people watch the Onion film. So
there's a lot of idiots out there that keep
that's
Netflix
right.
subscriptions. So.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't trust this man with your children, you wouldn't trust him with your Star Wars shows.
This is the man that wrote one draft of the Star Wars film that he filmed. The first draft he went with.
Is that confirmed?
That's how I've been told.
Holy God.
That's why it's so bad.
Plus, he put a flying fucking iron into it as well.
And they all liked it. Like Kathleen Kennedy was like, "Yeah, we go with that." Do you know what I mean? All of them. So it just goes to show they knew nothing. Absolutely
Here you go.
nothing.
Tim, I like saying this Hannah Bomb, man, baby.
And I thought he was quite talented. He did Looper, for God's sakes, and I really liked that film.
Yeah, Looper was really good.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad
I
episode
also-
was all right. What do it?
Yeah, exactly. And what happened? What happened? Turned into a round-headed idiot.
One hit pony. That's it.
Here you go, folks. Johnny Lawrence's mum.
Moving on.
Yeah. As I said last time, it's still fucked, folks. Moving on.
Oh,
What's this?
Why? Why did this happen?
because she checks a bunch of boxes. That's exactly why it happened.
What? I don't understand. What's happening?
She got a Jim will fix it badge off President
I
Biden.
will
Who?
fix it for you.
Who
Mindy
did?
Kaling, who created Velma, was
okay.
given the Presidential Medal of the Arts. Is it?
I've
What
been
was that
told
one?
off, folks.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a
Why-
new one. Sorry
Why was she given that?
for being Indian.
For being a brown woman.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
okay. For being a brown woman. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right. They should have just, when they put that thing on, they should have just strangled her with it.
That's what it was.
Beat her over the head with the medal.
But it's like, the entirety of Velma is just jokes about privileged rich white guys with tiny penises, and here she is accepting an award from one of them.
Yeah,
the ultimate.
exactly.
You'd think
Look,
she'd have
the
given it
iron-
back.
Right. And the irony is, too, is with Velma, she just did nothing but make fun of white guys, and she's married with a baby to a white guy.
Well, I'm sure he likes watching her get fucked by other men. So
Who wants to fuck that? My
horrible.
God. The
Horrible.
woman looks like a smear on a diaper.
There, right there.
God.
A misshapen head like a Funko Pop.
Oh, you guys are disrespectful.
I could be blackout drunk and rattle off 20 people that are. Far
I can say
more
that
worthy
because
of
I
that
am a
award.
brown woman. So she does not represent brown women, just FYI. She's
Oh,
a
really?
disgrace to us.
Well
You're not the
said.
brown girl in the ring. No.
Tra la 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 la.
La 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 la.
That's a song reference, I think.
Oh dear.
I think this has upset the charts. It upset me when I watched it.
Yeah.
Jewish
Think of just how
bastard.
many more, if the goal was to give it to a woman, just how many more talented women there are
Yes,
than
I'm
this
sure
piece
there are
of
more
shit.
Well, they
talented
did. I mean,
women.
they did give one to Julia Louis-Dreyfus as well, I think, at the same ceremony. And I think that's a bit more justified in that she's actually
Yes.
done
She's
stuff
quite
that's
funny.
not shit. She's quite funny. She's actually can act as well. And I quite like Veep. I think Veep's mildly entertaining. We shouldn't remember her for her starring role as the character no one can name in a Marvel film.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I had a friend named Jocelyn, and she was
Thank
a
you,
brown
Stringer.
girl in school, and they
Tra
always
la
used
la
to
la.
tease her with that song, "Brown Girl in the Ring." She used to cry, run in
Tra
the
la la la
toilets
la.
and cry. So there you go. That's why that song is so bad.
Institutional
bad.
racism.
Yeah.
And-
Here you go, folks. Best test of all. Mindy proved that you don't have to be talented. Sorry, I'll start again. I fucked that up. Mindy proved that you don't have to have talent to be amazing.
I don't think she proved that. I think the Biden administration proved that. I mean, that they hired a nuclear waste disposal expert on the basis that he's trans and steals other people's luggage from airports. They appointed a health secretary on the basis that she doesn't actually understand biology, and they appoint Supreme Court nominees who don't understand that men and women are different things. So it's not
Spot on.
her fault that she's been nominated. It's the fact that the administration awards mediocrity.
They couldn't find a man for it.
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Perfect timing. We're ready to get this down. We'll get this down.
It's just
That's
practicing.
That's
Ben,
our
practicing.
gift to you folks. Our gift, the Lord.
He hasn't even lit that cigarette. Hasn't
Yeah,
even
you gotta
smoked it.
yeah, you gotta get it. Yeah, you gotta get it lit, mate.
If I'd lit it at the start of this stream, I'd have gone through a pack by this point.
Didn't she also? She's going to be working on the new Flintstones thing now too, right?
Oh no, it's a new Flintstones thing.
Yeah. So it's going to be was the
Based on
baby
Bam Bam.
Pebbles, but she's
Oh,
20 years
Pebbles.
old. So basically, it's her getting run through a bunch of dudes and same
Stunning
thing,
and
just
brave.
disrespecting men the whole time.
How do we go from Bob Dylan getting the Medal of Freedom and she gets the Medal of Arts? What the fuck?
The Medal of Farts. That's
Here you go, folks. Please help me, somebody.
Hold on, let me get there's a bottle of it around here somewhere. I'll find out what the brand is.
Edabagadix. If I fuck that up, I do apologise. What eyeliner does the Lord use?
Lord knows. Oh, he
Well,
does.
Google tells me there's a brand called Urban Decay 24/7, and I think that's fitting, so we'll go with that.
That's actually a good brand. Great. That's great
okay.
eyeliner. Very nice.
I'll have to buy some.
He's the guy that's holding the medal. It does look like he wants to strangle her, doesn't he? The way he's holding that.
Good. That
medal
would be
there.
a national service right there.
Yeah, he's
Strangle
holding
Mindy
back.
Kaling.
He's holding back a fart or the intrusive thoughts. I don't know. What he's doing.
Maybe the intrusive thoughts. I reckon.
I
like the idea that the Presidential Medal of Freedom goes to whoever strangles the nominee for the Presidential Medal of the Arts with the medal.
As an old bastard, right, I've always hated self-congratulatory stuff. Fuck off!
Really?
On the
As a
plus
young
side,
bastard, I agree with
Fuck
you.
off!
At least Biden didn't sniff her this time.
Get
No, she's too old.
Yes.
He probably doesn't even remember her name. This award
Probably.
goes to.
Looks like he's about to fall over. So
Yeah, it
So,
does,
medal,
yeah.
medal here from Mungo.
yeah.
This
don't
award
get me
goes to
wrong.
Mandel Capwing. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Anybody who's got dementia, anything like that, is a properly serious condition, and I feel for anybody.
Has he got
who's
It
dementia?
is, and that's exactly why they shouldn't be elected leader of the free world.
And the people around them have to deal with it, and it is sad because I've dealt with it.
Is he? Has he?
we basically have Bruce Willis in office right now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I thought he was all right.
no, he's
Only
no.
clumsy from time to time. That's what I thought.
There'll be flashes of him being himself, but I would pretty much
Alright.
think.
Yeah, it's after they fucking
fucked.
juice him up out back. Like,
Yeah.
send him out. You're good for 15, bro.
It wouldn't be the first time though. Woodrow Wilson had a stroke, and his wife effectively ran the government for 6 months because they just didn't tell anyone that he'd had a stroke.
Yeah.
Because if they told anyone, then they would have had to invoke the 25th Amendment, and the vice president that they didn't like would have had to take over. So they just hid the fact that the president was incapacitated for the last 6 months of his
Well,
administration.
they've been doing that for 2 years now.
Well, yeah.
Here
Testing
you go.
limits
I love
now.
it when new people appear. I love it when they get lurkers get triggered. Hello, Michael Bancroft. Hello. 100%. He has dementia. Yes.
Well, I don't understand where the world's gone to these days. Well, why did they
Down the
vote this
shitter,
fella in?
mate.
Why did
All
they
part of the
vote this
plan.
fella in? I don't understand. If
Because
it's
it
obvious
wasn't-
to everyone,
Because he
that
wasn't
he's-
Trump. Here you go. Not Brian.
That's
Weekend.
exactly why.
Weekend
At
at
Bernie's,
Biden's.
Yeah. Yeah.
They also correctly deduced that he would be, he would appear normal, sane, reasonable, and fundamentally electable, and without the histrionics of the prior administration, and that was proved at the last election. So, if Donald Trump is your answer to Joe Biden, and Donald Trump has lost to Joe Biden, Donald Trump is not your answer to Joe Biden. Paging any Republicans who happen to be listening.
I've been told off again, so
No
if there's
politics,
more
please.
politics on the next one, I do
Well,
apologise.
no, I'm going to push back on that one. It's annoying when people say no politics as though entertainment and politics are different. What is happening on the screen right now? What are you seeing? Well, you can't see it now because I'm on the screen. What are you seeing? You're seeing someone who has been awarded on the basis of their service to politics via entertainment. That's what's happening. There is no clear divide between these two things.
No grey area.
If you're going to keep injecting politics into entertainment, then people who review entertainment will have to keep accounting for politics. Otherwise, you're missing a fundamental part of the purpose of entertainment. That's what happens.
Well, have
Put
a
the
drink,
glasses
mate.
on.
Have a
That's it.
drink.
Culture
Put the
culture
glasses
is
on.
downstream from politics anyways. And even
Yes.
if we don't have to talk about a president. Look at all the shit we've been talking about so far about
No.
black supermen and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all politics.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
all
the
bollocks.
same argument that I hear from when I get criticism about mentioning it, because it is fucking inexorably in the content that we are consuming right now.
I'm getting
Right.
told off
I
here.
have to talk about it. It's in the
You can't
product.
avoid it.
I
It's
can't,
impossible
yeah.
to avoid.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Melvin.
I do understand, though. I mean, I agree with the ideal of people in the chat who complain about politics. I do understand why you're doing that. None of us want to see politics in this stuff, but the fact is it's there. And as long as it keeps being there, you have to keep commenting on it to have a full account of what entertainment is doing. So the moment they stop is the moment we'll stop mentioning it.
You know
Yes.
what? The Lord has spoken.
Yeah,
Moving on.
yeah.
Speaking of
Moving on.
politics,
Move along. Oh no! Oh no! So this woman's got a punchable face, isn't she?
she kind of looks like Danny DeVito, doesn't she?
She does a bit.
For the
He
people at home,
transitioned, huh?
who is this?
It's Victoria Alonso.
This was the woman that was in charge of the visual effects department, if I recall. And she was doing something like, she was trying to promote a film, which it goes against her business conduct. So they canned her instead.
What film was she promoting?
It says right there, Argentina, 1980.
Is that
Disney?
a Disney film?
No, it was
I've no
for
idea.
Amazon. Disney already pushed back on this, and they basically said she wasn't fired for that. She got our blessing. We fired her because she sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Special
Apparently
effects speak for themselves.
She's the one who's been busting Feige's bollocks about X-Men. She wants it to be called fucking mutant persons or whatever.
I was gonna say,
that was
so
her?
Was she in
And-
charge of hiring the
people.
visual effects people then?
Yes, she was.
Because the visual effects people hate her guts.
And then she was promoted as well after having done such a fantastic job turning Marvel VFX teams into essentially
There you go, number
sweatshops.
Yeah.
She was then promoted to an even higher role. In the higher role, and again, I'm sorry to bring the politics into it, she was the one of the
folks.
people at least, who led the campaign to pressure Bob Chapek into taking a political stance on Ron DeSantis' bill in Florida. She sat down with him. She tweeted about the fact she'd sat down with him for a 45-minute struggle session about the importance of Disney wading into politics. So that's another of the reasons not to regret that she's gone.
But Platoon, I was recently told that it's really too bad she's fired because we need more women in those positions because there aren't enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like saying Auschwitz would have been better if it had been 50-50 women.
But you know what will
it's-
happen? But you know what will happen? Blue. You know what will happen if they say that, suddenly you'll have men in that position pretending to be women, and
That's
they
exactly
women
what's
can't win.
happening.
They can't win. They can't win. Can
I'm
they?
just
So-
getting my checkbook out to pay YouTube for this stream.
Just give them the money that you've
Moving
been
on.
given by the chat.
She's fucking useless, isn't she?
Yes.
And
she's
it
a
all
grifter.
boils
She's been
down
lucky,
to this
yeah.
religion. It all boils down to this religion they've been sucking up in America. That's what, all of this stuff's boiled down to that crap. It really is.
Apparently, as I said, this X-Men thing, she's been busting Feige's bollocks because she's the one who wants it to be called the mutants. And every time they've had an argument, she's always, well, I'm going to resign then.
It's called X.
Feige's never been
How
in
about
a
you're just
position
fired?
to say fuck off until now.
Feige's a coward.
Yeah, he
he's
is.
a
He should have gone as well. But
Feige's a coward. It's
the greatest franchise in a probably 11, 12 year period reduced to shite.
yeah. Do you reckon he slept with Brie Larson? Feige.
He's too
I'm
white
just
for her.
saying.
Yeah,
I'm just
he's too
saying.
white for her.
Oh, okay.
Even
Yeah.
though she's dating a white guy, ironically.
just texting my libel lawyer as we can. Carry on.
Oh,
Could
so
I have
this
his,
is just a question.
Could I have his phone number as well when you're finished?
All right.
Good riddance, yes.
Good
Grifter.
riddance, bad
Bye.
rubbish.
Grifter, she's been found out.
Oh no! Who the hell is this? Oh, the guy.
There is
from
an
Creed.
update about this, but anybody see this yesterday? This was trending. Jonathan Majors got arrested.
For what?
Assault and battery, alleged.
On who?
A
was
woman.
was
A
was it
lady.
KK?
On a lady.
A lady, really?
So
Yeah.
apparently it was in a taxi. So there is a witness.
Oh.
And she actually was
Alleged.
in the hospital. And in addition to that, a bunch of filmmakers have come out talking shit about how not physically abusive, but abusive on set he has been throughout his short career already. So
Wow.
I am fascinated about what's going to happen with this. This is going to be so good.
But thankfully, you can get rid of him, and there are infinite numbers of him who can just come in and replace him. That's how
Just-
Kang works.
Yep.
Kangeld.
Can get. Ooh. Yeah.
Cancelled.
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 Ah, very good, Brian.
I don't know. I can't be asked with stuff like this.
Is
I
he going to
should-
get special
Uh,
treatment though? Is he
No,
gonna get
she's
special
since
treatment?
recanted all of her
Yes.
accusations.
They probably paid her a lot of money.
Oh, they probably gave her $3
Yeah.
million.
Yeah.
Oh,
I made her insta wealthy.
Keep in mind, so Disney is going to keep this guy for doing this, allegedly, but they fired Gina for a tweet.
Yeah.
for nothing.
Because he's a man
Sheer
of color. That's why.
double fucking standards
He's a
again.
man of color. You
on
can't,
2 hours.
can't do anything. to
Sheer
him.
double fucking standards.
Well, look, if she's recanted, if the thing has been settled, that's fine as far as I'm concerned. He should carry on in the role. It's not
agreed.
up to society to prejudge a case or to judge it after it's been settled. If the person who brought the case has decided they don't want to carry on with the case,
Yeah,
that
agreed.
is the end of the matter. If they wanted him to lose the job because he'd actually done something, they should have stuck by their guns and not taken the money.
Probably was a lot of money. Probably.
I
Yes,
cannot
I'm sure.
find where she's recanted what she said.
I will link you. Hold on, I will link you.
Oh, okay.
Here you go, folks. Franco, yeah, double fucking standards. Everything is. Hypocrisy.
Well,
While I
turns-
absolutely do
sickening.
not think that he should, innocent till proven guilty here, but based on their track record, he should be fucking insta-fired. Because not only was Gina
Yep.
fired for a tweet, so was James Gunn. Like, where's the consistency
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Justin Roiland.
Yeah,
But
poor
beating-
Justin
beating
Roiland. No
women
one's
is
talked
okay
about
now. Yeah, beating women's okay if you're an actor, right? Look at Ezra Miller. Still got his job.
Yeah, exactly.
He can
Well,
choke a bitch out on film and get away with it.
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Who was the there was a head of a video game studio recently, but in a similar situation, who was working on, it wasn't Dead
One of the-
Space, Deadlight, something like that.
Yeah, Dying Light.
Dying Light, that's the one.
yeah.
And much the same story sort of pans out. So this guy is accused verbatim for being a sexual abuser and a harasser and just a general shit by 3 women, I think it was. And in the last week, they all came out and said, we no longer accuse him of that. But they also said, we never accused him of that. Our words were misinterpreted. The unfortunate thing for them is you can go back to the news articles quoting them directly and also the tweets they put out in which they directly accuse him of being a sexual abuser. But now they're claiming, no, not only did we never say it, but the fact that we said it has just been misrepresented. So it happens all the time. It's belatedly a good example of why you shouldn't believe anyone, and women included.
Yes, believe all women. No.
But it's also worth remembering as well that the fact that it's been settled doesn't mean it didn't happen. It just means that the people to whom it allegedly happened didn't think it was important enough to override the offer of hundreds of thousands of dollars,
That's
in which
right.
case that's their business and not ours, and society shouldn't be responding by firing people
Jonathan
just to
Majors
give
is
people a
the
payoff.
Linchpin for the entire of Phase 5. So
Well, that's
it would be
fucked.
absolutely devastating to get rid of him at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm probably siding on the fact that she's probably been paid off.
She has. It's obvious she's been paid off. She's been paid
Well,
off.
it's 3
That's
people that came out against him, right? So there's the woman in the cab and then the 2 movie execs. So only one has recanted, or 2 have recanted, right? The numbers don't line up still.
Yeah, and this is, I need to see more of this than just from the Daily Beast. I'm gonna.
Detective Cynic on the case.
I'm on the prowl.
Just one more thing.
The cynic is being cynical.
Good.
What the army
We all
pulls
are, aren't we?
recruiting ads from Jonathan Major's arrest. Has anyone noticed that yet?
Yep.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
what?
saw that. Yeah, the army. He was in a commercial selling the U.S. Army to us, and they pulled it already. I remember seeing it, and I was like, "Oh, they got Jonathan Majors." So that's pretty
That's
funny.
well,
They
it's
already
good
pulled
that they're pulling it because
Mhm.
I think this is probably true. Okay, and I explained the reason to Mr. Brown earlier. I'm not going to say it on the stream.
Thank you.
But I think this is probably true.
Well,
I'm not sure
she's
it's
been
good
paid
to
off.
include it.
That's it. You know. It's,
But
and
there's
also,
another one.
yeah,
sorry,
go.
after you.
No, go,
Oh,
no, go for it. Go for
Well,
it.
I was going to say that there's another one over in the UK where we play real sports. There was a footballer, Mason Greenwood, who is Manchester United's sort of brightest young talent, who was also accused of sexual assault and battery by his girlfriend. And his girlfriend posted videos to Instagram and TikTok and whatever else, seemingly showing that this was all true, and it had all of the hallmarks, all of the visual evidence supported her case. The case was ongoing for about a year and a half, I think it was, until the police force prosecuting it said that they can't prosecute it anymore because of the withdrawal of key witnesses. And the withdrawal of key witnesses, there's only one key witness in this case, which is the girlfriend. Now, people who, I think correctly, pointed out that many abused people go back to their abusers, didn't account for the fact that it's also that will carry on happening as long as people who allege abuse back down with the offer of money. You can't stop this if you're simply saying, well, I'm going to allege the worst possible crime against you unless you pay me. And if you pay me, then I'm going to retract and recant and nothing else need be said about that. People who go back to their abusers shouldn't be going back to their abusers. We have to understand and sympathize with that, whilst also understanding that the fact they're doing it is perpetuating more of the violence that they allege happened. But he lost his job. He's not played since. He's still on contract but unpaid. He might never play for the club again. He might never play in the sport again on the basis of an allegation that's been withdrawn, seemingly, by the person who made the allegation. So I don't like the preemptive firing of people from roles, Jonathan Majors being dropped from adverts, because stuff like this might happen. If it's recanted by the person who alleges it, then in the eyes of the law, the person is innocent. We can speculate about their actual guilt if we want to, but the fact is he's already lost the job, he's already lost the money and the contract, and the reputation has been immeasurably damaged by someone who has now not been prepared to go through with their accusation. So my personal opinion is that you keep people in their jobs until the case is actually proved.
I know. But,
what happened to innocent till proven guilty?
Yeah, but look what happened
That's
to
true.
Noel Clark. Same thing happened to him as well. It's been proven.
What
that
about
he
Johnny
didn't do
Johnny
that
Depp as
stuff.
well?
And Johnny
Johnny-
Depp, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But Johnny Depp had a big public thing, and everybody knows he's
But it
innocent
was
now.
he got fired from everything immediately.
He did.
and his
Right,
career
yeah, he
still hasn't
lost.
recovered.
He
Yeah.
lost roles in 2 of the biggest franchises
Yeah.
ever.
And they
The
want him
only
back as well.
people that hired him during the years before the trial went public was Givenchy. That's it.
Yeah. Just goes to show, don't it, that you're guilty. if some woman is lying,
Guilty by media.
everybody's going to believe the woman rather than you.
Well,
rather
it's not
than a
even
man,
not
put it that way.
necessarily not even that, but
And the thing about that too, like Justin Roiland has his situation's just proved as soon as you're accused, it's fucking over.
Yeah, it's over.
It's
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
matter. Like even
Yeah.
if you're proven innocent, is anyone even talking
Yeah,
about the
you're
fact that
fucked.
all that's dismissed? No. Is
Mm.
he getting his job back? Absolutely
No.
not.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even. You're fucked.
Super chats, folks, if I may. Romeo Tango November Zulu for $5.50 NZ dollars. Hail Brown and Co. Just dropping in as I'm at work. Thanks again for having me yesterday. Great film and great people to talk to about it. Cheers.
Yeah, he was fun to have on.
It was. It's good.
Mm.
Shall we move on from this then, folks?
Yes, please.
Before my brain implodes.
Yes, oh, Kingpin. Oh, they're going to destroy this. You know it's going to be destroyed.
Already, well, it's going to be PG-13 anyways,
So
right?
it's going to be rubbish. It's going to be rubbish.
And
So
they
I will-
changed his outfit so he looks kind of cartoony now as well. I don't understand why he needed to be born again. I think they could have just picked up where the Netflix show
Yeah, they
left
could have.
off.
Yeah, they could have. But they're not
That
doing
was
that.
totally fine. Everyone loved that.
Is it true that they're making Karen Page black now?
I don't know about that, but the original actress isn't coming back,
Yeah.
the hot redhead.
But I heard that was one of the things I read, that the girl that's playing Karen Page is black. So I'm confused.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're not bringing back
spoil the
Foggy
fucking-
Nelson either.
Thanks, love.
In fact, I mean, a lot of the key players in the Born Again storyline are dead. or not in it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's even taking that name.
Yeah, I know.
Norman
what's his
Collier
name?
in the building.
What's his name? Is dead, isn't he? Uric. Uric is one
Yeah,
of the
Ben
major,
Urick's dead.
yeah, characters in Born Again, and he's dead. He got killed in. Anyway, I don't know what they're going to
Here you go,
do.
folks. Hostman. Keep Kingpin rated.
Do you remember
Ah.
that? So you remember that scene where Kingpin smashed that guy's head with the car door? Anybody's? That was brutal. They're never going to
Yeah.
do stuff like that in this. Never. Because it's a Disney thing, isn't it? Trying to make it kiddified, aren't they? And adding all the crap into it. But this goes
Which
to show
is-
how evil Kingpin was, you know?
Yeah,
is.
But it's weird. Why not keep this? Because they kept Deadpool R
Yeah.
after the merger, so why not just branch out and do the R? All these kids are watching it anyways. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And what they've done with him so far has been absolutely terrible. You went from the absolute majesty that is the Netflix series into the cameos in She-Hulk,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which just made the character an embarrassment.
Via
Although-
Hawkeye as well. Doesn't
Yeah.
he get hit by a car in
Uh,
Hawkeye?
I
Yeah.
don't know. Was he in Hawkeye? I never
Yeah.
saw
Didn't-
Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I
can't
did.
remember
I
much
did
of
cheer when I
Hawkeye.
saw him in Spider-Man: No Way Home, though.
Yeah, I was
I
excited.
was
when he
cheering. I was
in
like,
that.
"Wow!"
well, those
yes.
characters belong together. You know,
They
They're
well in the
street
comics
level.
they teamed.
Mm.
Yeah, they teamed up all the time, didn't they? in
yeah,
the
all the
comics?
time. There are
Yeah.
fantastic Daredevil Spider-Man crossovers.
Yeah. God, they're gonna spoil it. I know they're gonna do. They're gonna wreck it. They really
Mhm.
are.
Yeah. It's interesting how quickly it turns from, oh shit, they're doing Daredevil to, oh god, they're doing Daredevil.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was excited when they learned that because of the track Disney's on.
And
I don't
remember,
remember seeing anyone excited.
Well,
remember
he
when
was
Sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
Mega, go ahead.
I was just saying, remember when Daredevil came out? It was the first time that they introduced binging. And I remember when Daredevil came out, I watched all of it, right, in 2
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
And I binged all of it. And I remember I was on the phone to my friends going, "Did you see that episode? It was so exciting. It got from there to here. What the hell happened?"
Did you
That's all I
spoil
can
it for
say.
them?
So, what's that?
Did you
What?
spoil it for them?
No, because we were watching it at the same time. We were
Okay.
watching it at the same time. All my friends were watching it at the same time, and it was a lot of fun watching it at the same time and talking on the phone and meeting people in the pub and having a drink. It was fucking awesome.
It was.
And now
The
it's just
hallway fight was peak cinema.
brilliant,
Yeah, that was
absolutely
awesome.
brilliant. Yeah. Oh well.
Here you go. Happy on. Daredevil, Netflix
Yeah.
was incredible,
Yeah.
amazing TV.
It was very good.
Yep. Mhm.
Speaking of amazing TV, let's move on.
Picard.
This is some kind of ratings statistic streaming thingy.
Mm.
Obviously, there's a graph there with how when a show is put on air or on streaming, you obviously get a percentage watched type thing, and you know how much people are kind of into the show. Picard is very, very popular, effectively.
What, the third
Uh,
one? Third season?
Yeah,
season,
where it says there 42.6
Yeah.
times more demand, I think, than the average TV show. So, yeah, it seems to be doing quite well purely on clicks. So I think that's why Paramount are probably wanting to do more Star Trek with Metalis.
Well, I
But-
mean, that's if he comes back.
It could have been like that if it had been season one instead of giving us
Yeah.
the shite.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty happy with what they've done with the third season of Picard, but I still think it's not Star Trek. So,
Yeah,
anyway,
we'll move on from that.
shall we move on?
Yes,
Moving on.
moving on.
Apple will spend $1 billion on producing films to be released in theaters. Really?
Interesting.
So from what I'm hearing is Apple TV is doing pretty good with the shows they're producing. So like some other people I've talked to about this, they're actually kind of excited just because they've been on a roll with their own productions TV wise.
Yeah, I am right there. They make very good prestige television, so they got my endorsement. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'd be interested to see what they produce.
Yeah.
I think
It'll be
the only
interesting.
one I've seen is Foundation from Apple TV, which is very deeply flawed, but not for the usual reasons. It's not flawed for its injections of shitty normal politics. It's just it makes a lot of changes to the source material. But as a series, it's still quite watchable. So on the basis of one production that I've seen, I'm not opposed to this. It could be all right. Although Napoleon, isn't that that Spielberg finishing off Kubrick's film about
Yeah, I
Napoleon,
think
isn't it?
so. Ted Lasso was really good on.
Ted Lasso.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard
and
good things
Very
about
Season
funny.
that.
3's just started.
Yeah, it's very funny. I thought season 1 and 2 was very funny.
yeah,
You go,
and
folks.
Shrinking's very good too.
I
Stringer
haven't
B,
seen
I
that
have
yet.
Stringer B in the chat. I have yet to watch a bad show on Apple TV.
You can hate Apple all you want, but what they produce is typically high quality, and it seems to be regardless whether it's a hardware, software, or fucking TV. So
That is true.
Optimism.
Are they-
here. Good
Are
optimism.
they
here.
waiting? Are they waiting to buy Pixar?
I wouldn't buy Pixar if I was you. I'd hire the people that actually created Pixar to create a new company.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't touch Pixar with a barge pole, to tell you the truth, because Disney's poisoned it. I mean, let's face it, right? Pixar was winning all the time, and then Disney took over, and then that was the end.
No, fired
they were-
Lasseter.
Yeah, they were winning like the best animated movie every year.
Yeah.
Like every award, they were sweeping
Mhm.
that every year.
And
And
their
now
films were
it's
really
just
good.
fodder for like fucking Disney Plus. They don't
Yeah.
even release them in theaters half the time.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't. Anyway, shall we move on, or are we going to stick on this picture? What's this?
What?
It's on the white supremacist.
I read this and I thought,
Brilliant.
What
Brilliant.
the fuck?
They also say that waking up early in the morning is a form of white supremacy. I saw
Oh,
that
right,
headline
'cause-
too.
Discipline is white supremacy. I forgot.
Pretty
Yeah,
much, yeah.
That's
yeah.
true.
And milk is not only racist, it's also homophobic. Let's not forget
Also, if you put chocolate in your milk, you are
A racist.
yeah, you're incredibly racist. And
Does that make me a want to be slave owner then? Because I put
Mhm.
chocolate in my coffee.
There was another one I saw today, although I think it's an older story, which is that if you, as a white person, have ever used a GIF of a black person to express an
Oh, that's
emotion,
so-
yeah, you are wearing blackface.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
This is ludicrous. Absolutely.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That was a CNN article, too. The
Of
one
course
about
it was.
digital blackface was a CNN article.
why am I not surprised?
These guys,
You
are
know
trying to-
what?
these guys are all finding reasons for digital blackface, but Canada's just like, nah, we have a prime minister that's worn blackface like a dozen times, and we're
Yeah.
cool with him
It's
still.
not a big deal.
I've still
not a big
got.
deal at all.
I've still got Soul Man on DVD somewhere around here. So, so is that? Shall I chuck that in the bin? I thought it was quite a funny movie, tell you the truth. But there you go. And nobody knows
wouldn't-
what Soul Man is. Anybody?
Yes,
So,
1986.
man,
I was just drinking a chocolate protein shake, so I'm a
Uh-oh.
piece of shit. I'm appropriating culture.
Are we not allowed to enjoy coffee anymore without feeling guilty?
No,
Apparently
you're
not.
not allowed to hike in the mountains either. That's a system of white
Oh,
supremacy.
yeah.
I don't think movie cynic is necessarily appropriating culture. He just wants the blackness in him, which is different.
Oh, that just means I'm exotifying them.
BBC standing for Big Black Coffee.
Who put that picture up of was it Netflix making a film about Hitler, and it was this black Hitler? Who put that
Oh
up?
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That
Saw
was hilarious.
It looked like
was
a
funny.
a de-aged Lenny Henry.
Yeah, it did a bit. Yeah, it's so funny. dear.
Why?
I'm not drinking
Why?
coffee anymore then.
Why? Oh, here you go, Jewish bastard. Jewish bastard. So many of these article writers belong in a padded cell.
Yeah. They do.
Slaves built this coffee.
Hi, White Bear.
I love it when new people appear. I just love it.
White beer.
Especially when it's a super chat. White Bear 2 for $3.50. Thank you so much. Here we go. Whoa, slaves built this coffee.
Slaves built this coffee.
Slaves.
Mm.
Slave 1. That was changed, wasn't it?
hmm
From
Fire
coffee to
sprays
Star
built
Wars.
this coffee.
Stream kill, everybody. Who would like a COVID story?
Oh, I thought you was going to say who would like a coffee. Me.
Is it a
Like
stupid
COVID
one?
story.
No, because I think you know how it all went literally tits up 3 years ago this week.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I faintly remember COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years ago, everybody's life
You're in what? You're in
changed.
Toronto, Vex. You're in Toronto.
I'm north of Toronto, near there.
All right,
yeah.
but is it still? What's the rules like down there now? Is it still strong or
It's
everybody's
still a shit show. Like
Right.
up until last summer in May, I believe, you had to show your pass to go just to the movie theater,
Oh
which is why I
wow.
hadn't bothered going to the movies until yesterday.
Hmm.
But they still like if you go into a hospital just to visit someone, they scan you and make you put on a mask and do all the checks and everything.
Wow.
Where are your papers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll do the little story then.
Good news.
As we all know, Sweden didn't lock down. The graph
You're gonna
there,
get like a notice when you upload this on the podcast. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm
He's
not going
yelling
to
at
say
us.
anything. I'm not going to just read it, folks,
Okay.
and then we'll move
You know
on.
it scans for the visuals too, right?
Does it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What if I
A
keep moving
visual
like
will
this?
also get you demonetized. You don't have to say things. It also
Okay, right, we'll move on then, folks.
Yeah. It's
Funny.
also not quite true. I mean, if you listen to Anders Tegnell, who masterminded Sweden's COVID response policy, he would not have said there was no pandemic, and Sweden did enact some lockdown measures. The point was they didn't enact
Not
all of
severe.
them. They just
Yeah.
and they did have severe excess deaths, but those have evened out over the course of the last 3 years. So their initial death count was way higher, but over time they've not suffered things like lockdown deaths and all the deaths associated with that. So it's averaged out. I don't think I've seen that graph. That graph says at the bottom in the citations, it is from the quote-unquote official Swedish statistical agency, which is not the name of the official Swedish statistical agency.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I think the Swedes might slightly disagree. It's not that the point is completely invalid, but it might not be the best source.
Okay.
Here you go, folks. Super chats. Hostman Socrates. HK47, $5 on the lockdowns. In the words of Razorfist, get fucked and go to jail, although not necessarily in that order.
Yeah.
So what's this?
Okay.
Two Faces in Batman, the Batman 2.
I struggled
Is
this
he
week.
gonna be just as emo as the bats? In
Yeah,
his,
probably.
I don't know. I was really struggling to get some Batman news this week, but luckily something popped in.
Is it going to be
After
like
many
an
hours of
emo
Google
boy? That'd be
searching.
great, wouldn't it? He'd be like, "Oh, there are two sides to me.
Question. I don't remember.
Good one.
There's a really angry side.
I don't
You won't
remember,
like
but did
him."
the Riddler die in the first one?
No, the
No.
Riddler gave himself up, so Batman didn't
Okay,
do
so
fuck
because
all.
there
Yeah.
were like 3 villains, if I remember correctly, that were introduced in the first one. Why not just flesh out those ones more in the second one instead of throwing in new characters?
Well, Penguin's
knows?
getting his own series, isn't he?
I think
Yeah.
they cancelled that.
No,
No,
they
it's
didn't.
been
I heard they
made.
cancelled it. Oh, has it been made? Is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
getting
okay.
made. Yeah.
But you know
Yeah,
what, right?
they're
Batman.
filming it right now, but
Batman.
I'm
in this, he's
because
not
I noticed
gonna.
the trend
Talking
for
over
all
each other.
these.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go on, Vex.
No,
Vex.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, Vex, go on.
Oh, okay.
Go for it.
I'm just saying the trend for all these superhero movies is they seem to just want to like pump and dump one villain and then move on instead of
Pump and
actually build
dump.
them up.
Yeah. yeah.
And I'd like to see them flesh them out a little bit more instead of just trying to hook people in these. Oh, this guy's in here. Oh, that guy's in there. Right.
Hmm.
So
I just hope that they. I hope Batman actually catches Two-Face in this film. I just really
and
hope
they
because he
you know
never
bond
did. He
over
never
their
caught
love
anyone
for
in the last one
Nirvana.
at all. Sorry, what's that? What's
They
that?
bond over their love for Nirvana or
Uh,
My Chemical Romance or something.
Maybe their mothers have the same name.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just hope
Movie
this one's going to
Cynic,
be better than the first one.
Are you
Hopefully it'll do some
available to read
detecting
a
or something.
super chat, please?
Nope.
Here we
Shall
go.
I read it then? Okay. Hostman Sock Cheese, HK47, $5. Two-Face will be the best part as long as they don't turn him into Cartman like the Riddler. Emo Bay sucks. Change my mind.
That either means gay or bat.
Yeah, I thought Bat. Yeah.
A bat, yeah.
Is it the same guy playing Batman in this one? What's his
No,
name
it's
again?
fully recast and totally new story, written and directed by other people.
Oh, is it?
No,
But called the Batman Part 2 still.
What's it? Is it?
takes place in Metropolis.
What's his name again? I can't remember the guy. Who played him.
Pattinson.
That's it.
Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Robin Pattinson.
He was all right in Tenet. I quite enjoyed in Tenet, but
I think my
I
favorite
enjoyed
part of
precisely nothing about Tenet. But, okay.
my favorite
okay.
part of Pattinson is how often he shits on the Twilight series that made him famous.
Yeah.
That's kind of a shame, isn't it, though, right? Like, that's
Is
the reason
he-
he even has a name.
I know. Well, no, because he was in Harry Potter and stuff, right?
No,
He
but
was,
it's
like,
just-
started off as
He was a forgettable
younger
character in Harry Potter, and then Twilight came out, and they made 5 movies out of the Twilight franchise, and that's what put him on the map. So it's
And that's
it
also
says a
why he
lot.
tried to escape Hollywood too, or at least that's why he was trying to like take smaller roles for so long. Because I was there with you, I didn't like him for a long time, and my a friend of mine who's a cinephile for sure was like, "Hey, have you watched any Pattinson movies recently?" This was before Batman, and that he's been pretty fucking good, generally speaking. Anyway, like,
Good in
did
The
anyone see the
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lighthouse. He was good. He was good in that. Yeah.
It's not that
Yeah.
he's a bad actor. It's just in bad taste to be shit talking the reason that you have the star power you have, or the
I
reason that
do
you're
agree, but I think it's a quality thing. So like Catherine Hegel would talk shit about the movie Knocked Up, but Knocked Up was good.
Yeah, I thought it
And
was
that-
good.
Right, but Twilight's terrible, and he's like, yeah, it is fucking terrible. This movie makes no sense. He's like, I'm
Well,
1,000 years old dating a kid.
Yeah, it's
you
true.
did. You knew this going into it. Come on, like let's.
Well, he probably signed up, and no one expected that movie to be as massive
dude,
as it
don't you-
was.
Do you remember how well the Twilight books sold when they came out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's you don't give a minuscule budget like they gave the Twilight movie if you expect it to be big. You don't.
No, okay. I gotta listen. I'm gonna flex my Twilight knowledge here a little bit, okay? Because
Go
I was
for it.
really into Twilight in high school. Okay.
That is
Um,
the worst flex I've ever heard of. But you
Bad
carry on.
flex.
I don't like the series anymore. In fact, like the first movie is what killed my enjoyment for it. But people that never would read at all were dumping insane amounts of money to buy anything Twilight book related. So it was also the woman who directed it. I think that was like her first major picture in a very long time. So that's why they were kind of like about it. But Twilight was insanely popular before
was,
that
yeah.
movie came out.
It was very, very
Insane.
big.
Wasn't it just 50 Shades of Grey, like fan fiction?
Other way around. 50 Shades of Grey is Twilight fan
Oh,
fiction.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, both
Yeah.
are ass, so whatever.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. It was really boring, those films. Really slow.
Oh, they are. They're terrible.
moving, and it was very
I've seen 'em.
boring.
To talk about the article just for a second, I like as a fan of the movie, I would like to see a different character. Like Harvey he fits in this world, but they did a pretty good incarnation with him in The Dark Knight, and I would just like he has such an incredible rogues gallery, and a lot of them can still fit into this more realistic world. So I would have liked to see someone else.
Which one?
Actually-
Which one would you like to see?
Yeah.
Cynic.
There's I would like to have seen Black Mask in this instead of
Oh,
like, the-
Black's Mask. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he would have been really great.
Yeah.
It sticks with the theme, the mobster theme. So that would have been cool.
Yeah. No, you're
Do you
right.
think
I never
they'll bring
thought of
Rob-
Black Mask. Never thought of him. Sorry, mate. Go on.
No, sorry. I feel like I'm talking over other people. It's okay. Do you think they'll bring Robin into this?
Oh
franchise?
no,
Let's do
he will not show up in this series. No fucking
I
way.
hope not.
No way.
Because this is a much younger Batman, right? So there's no sense in bringing in Robin.
Yeah, it would be foolish, and to the point of everyone saying Batman didn't do anything at the end. Like it's kind of the point. He failed because he is starting out, and what he did was, he saved the lives of the people from the flood, and that was the lesson learned. And,
Oh, dear.
so it's just Like that is the point. You cannot like the point all you want. But
I think I punched a wound here.
Well, this is a weekly
Finally.
thing. Like you literally
Finally.
fucking find an article to bring up this movie every week. So it's
I
literally
hear,
a
I hear
fucking
you,
segment
Blue.
of this
I hear
show.
you, Blue. I hear you, mate.
Matthew, I love you, and I went out of my way.
I love you too, but
I
you have
went out
talked
of
about
my
this
way.
movie more than I ever fucking have. And I've made a video on
I
it.
went out of my way for you. I don't do that for everybody.
That's hilarious. I don't
What
go
a lad.
crazy when you talk about Avatar. I accept what you're saying, but
Well,
Well,
you
just
know
say
what
one
I'm talking
thing.
about.
You also don't have an
Right.
explosive personality like it.
All right, of course, of course.
Small
I forgot about that.
Smouldering.
That's hilarious.
I do this out of love. Moving on.
Just not for the Batman, but yeah.
Exactly.
And finally,
And finally, here we go. Ooh, Captain Spock.
when we started our broadcast this evening, it was the anniversary, the birthday of 92nd birthday of Leonard Nimoy. I just thought I'd put this in because he's a great actor.
When did he die?
Yesterday.
No.
Was it I'm kind of thinking maybe seven
was pretty
years
recent.
ago? 7 years ago, perhaps?
I think it was shortly after, wasn't it quite shortly after the first Star Trek reboot film, the Abrams one, came out?
Yes.
Yes.
Before the second one.
Yes.
So, yeah. Because in the
Such a-
film, they actually said he died. The Spock character
Yeah.
died in that film, didn't they?
Yeah.
So. Actually, no, it was a third one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was
he's
it the
in the
third
second one.
Yeah, I'd probably say, what,
Third one.
2016 off the top of my head?
Very intelligent man, by all accounts.
And not one of us can use Google.
yeah. I can't be asked. So, but yeah, very intelligent man.
There you go, Jim D. Live long and prosper.
He was very angry with Spock, wasn't he? When the '60s show went and he got typecast and stuff.
Yeah.
But he did star in Columbo and Mission Impossible, so he was working. But
Here you go, folks. Again, I love it when new people appear. Shield Wall of Dragons. He died 27th of February, 2015. That's 8 years. Wow.
Doesn't seem that long ago, though. Does
no.
No, it
No.
doesn't. 2015 doesn't seem that long ago. My goodness.
I think his finest Star Trek moments were Star Trek 4 and 6. He was even good in 5. First half of the Star Trek films, it was all about Kirk, effectively. And then when Spock came back, Leonard Nimoy just got better and better and better.
Oh, I don't know. I thought Star Trek 2 was it was a lot about Kirk, but it was also about Spock as well. I thought the second one, Wrath of Khan.
And the third film is literally named after him.
Yeah,
And he directed.
I love the third one. I think the third
Yeah.
one's the best out of all of them personally, but that's just me, right? So, yeah.
So I'll just say, rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Would have been 92 today. I think
Rest in
that's it,
peace, Calculon.
folks. Yes, rest in peace, Calculon. I think that's it, folks. Please consider donating to the channel. Links in description, pin message, all that. A few of you have, so I thank you for that.
Mr. Wick.
Yeah. Welcome back, Mr. Week.
I am Klaus.
Yeah.
I am Job.
I will say thank you, chat. You are wonderful. Apologies, my computer's been playing up again this evening, so I couldn't do more chats than I'd like to. It's just really, really slow, so I do apologise for that. Although I can do this one. Channel favorites. Velma Dinklage in the chat.
So demanding.
Yes.
Dirty little bitch.
Bum.
shirt says
Bummer
"Bum
hard.
me Z." Do you see this?
Yeah, the avatar says it.
You filthy maniacs.
I think that's it, folks. Chat's wonderful, but you already know that. I will thank the guests in order of my screen from the top. Z3PO.
Hello, sir. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much to the panelists and the chat. It's good to be on top of everybody for a change.
Vex Electronica. Thank you.
Well, I always have a good time here, so thank you for having me on again, and thank you, chat, as well, for being so welcoming of me.
Did you really have a good time?
Women are really good at faking things. I'll leave it at that.
Old blue boy himself. I love this guy genuinely. It's the movie cynic.
Thank you for having me. I love you all. I truly do. I mean
Until
this.
we'd mentioned the Batman. And then
No, in those times, hey, friendship is it's easy when it's convenient, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what, Matthew?
In those times is when I love you the most.
You know what, you know what, Matthew? The time I stop doing the Batman stories, that's the time to worry. Okay.
Okay. Well, next week I'll come with arguments. I should have week to go. This is a recurring
Yes.
theme after all.
The little platoon, everybody, with his super duper avatar. Can I press a button to make you big?
No, not a.
Yes, you can.
Dear, oh dear.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That is class.
Carry on.
I
Carry
hate
on.
you all, and I fuck the
blushing,
chat.
folks.
Just go. I can do that. Look, I can actually blush. There we go.
Oh my god,
no,
that's
fuck.
class. That is class.
Dear.
Cheers, Lord. Always wonderful, mate.
Thank
Cheers,
you
Lord.
as ever.
And last but by no means least, he is the wise elder of the channel. I know this off by heart. He is the great mega geeky. But words are failing me. It's the mega geek.
I know this off by heart. Who is this man?
Exactly.
I need to lie down. Cheers, Ian.
No worries. You keep missing out. You used to put the Selfridges thing in when you used to introduce me, remember?
Yeah,
but it's
paid
okay.
up-
Don't do that.
Paid up member of the
Paid up member of the
Selfridges.
Selfridges Star Wars
Maybe
Club
we'll
or
tell
something
them
like
the story again one
that.
day.
No, later.
I think that's
Anyway.
it, folks.
Cheers.
Blue Man Lord, have you got something on tomorrow?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Yep.
Would
What
you like
time?
to tell everybody about what you're doing
It's
tomorrow?
the weekly show that we are gonna
Plug.
do
It's called a plug.
every
It's called a plug.
week.
Is it?
It's at 5
It's-
p.m. Central Time for me. I don't know what it is in
That's-
your
that's like-
pretend time.
10-ish.
Oh,
pretend.
okay.
We invented time, you colonial.
Yeah, and
It's-
we're
it's
we're
like-
the Apple. Okay, we mastered it though. Thank you.
It's around 10 UK time. It's episode 2 of the podcast we still haven't come up with a name for, but that will be on tomorrow night.
So, what are you chatting about? Just anything and everything?
It will be John Wick, and
I'll come on.
after this stream, we'll decide what else we're talking about.
Yes, we need to figure that out.
I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna join you if I can. If you let me.
Do
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
he's just invited himself.
please do.
No, I was invited by Blue. Blue invited
Yeah,
me.
we
you
invited you
go.
last week. Didn't have time, so
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I
Okay.
couldn't make last week, but I can make
Yeah, no.
tomorrow.
If you're around tomorrow at 10, we can talk John Wick, and then we'll let you know what else we're talking about afterwards when we
Alright.
decide what
I
that
probably
is.
won't stay the duration, but I will.
That's
come on.
fine. We have a drop in, drop out policy.
Excellent.
And on that bombshell, I think that's it, folks. We're back Wednesday for the it's Mandalorian, isn't it? And I said Bobber Bollocks roast.
It's
That's
basically
gonna
the
be-
same thing.
That's going to be quite funny, I hope. That's it, folks. If we don't see you Wednesday, have a great week. We're out of here. Tally bye.
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 Timing.